Two souls the same. With you I'm everything. You never asked me to change a thing. They set our world on fire, but our hearts will burn for miles. I see your beauty shine. You radiate with light. Our hearts dancing time. You're one of a kind. Stars shining with us. Your fire is contagious. I feel the moon on our skin. Love glows out, love streams in. Your eyes shining through me. Light the way so that we can see. You feel the warmth of my love. Shine on and feel we're lost. Even when I'm gone, like circles on from near and far, above the flower bed. As we watch the stars, and we'll never be apart.
I lied awake for days, counting all the ways I died. Everything I couldn't save, buried down, still half alive. It's got me crawling in my skin, but no one's coming out to hold me close. Pouring out the gasoline, yeah, I've been making friends with all these girls, and I got nothing left to lose. Fight to the future. Not me to turn and run. Met the bitter truth and I choked it down. Left a bad taste on my tongue, but my appetite's been growing now. I can see you crawling in your skin, but no one's coming out to hold you close. I'm pouring out the gasoline, so say hello to all my ghosts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the qualifiers of the Summer 2023 Aegis Marauders League. It's going to be a fun week with Primal Instinct Purple going up against LCE Noir. My name is Moose. I will be your play-by-play caster for this week. And joining us today, a special guest. We got an Animal House cast for us this week. It's Panda. Panda, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good. A little groggy, kind of like Groggus, but I'm looking for some good gameplay today. And Animal House should be right, as I think this might go to 3 from what I've been told. So I'm here for some good League of Legends, and hopefully we see some spicy things in draft.
I'm excited to get ourselves into it as the teams are now getting themselves situated, ready into the draft for this first game. This will give us an opportunity to kind of go over qualifier stage for the AML and what these games mean for these teams here that have survived. So for you guys at home, if you're not aware, the regular season, the first 7 games that you played had a or you were put into a standing, right? You were given a score based on your series wins and losses. You definitely want to get the highest score possible, and the 8 highest scoring teams, so the first highest scoring team and then the second place team under that, those teams guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. Every other team having to go through this qualifier to make it in to the playoffs. Now, of course, some of the teams on the low end of the regular season were eliminated during the regular season, do not have a chance to even make it into the qualifiers. So for teams like Primal Instinct Purple and LCE Noir, think of this as a wild card a couple of weeks for them. If they can perform well, they get a spot in the playoffs. If they don't perform well, they're going to find themselves out of the running for the grand prize at the end of the season. So every one of these games going to count towards that score. It is going to be a Swiss bracket. So winning games is going to be the only way for these teams to be able to secure their spots in the playoffs. And I'm excited to see what they're going to do as we get ourselves into this one. Another real quick, I guess, tidbit for today's game: Primal Instinct Purple going to be 5-2 out of the Ionia division, going 11-7 total, and then LCE Noir from the Void division, a little bit less productive, going 2-5 in their regular season. So Panda, I know you're involved in other leagues, like you do some Aegis, but I believe you also do some Risen as well. What have been some of the, I guess, highlights champion wise, role wise, I guess just in season 13 that you've had that have kind of defined the way that you think of the season?
Um, Especially across different ranks, I get the pleasure of seeing things as low as silver all the way up to the masters tier, grandmasters tier, and there's been a lot of variance this season. Pro play's been a little stale in my opinion, but as far as the ranked players and finding the OTPs and things along those lines, I've seen things like Silas support, seen things come out like Zach mid. I mean, we see that traditionally with like G2, they pull something out every now and again, but I've seen a lot of variance this year, and I like some of what I see. I think Neferi's been pretty good for top lane, kind of mixed it up a little bit. Range top lane is still back. Kennen is very strong. Jace is very strong. My big turning point here, though, is I want to see what these junglers want to look for here. J4 has been very, very strong in the current meta. We've seen things like Maokai be very strong. We've seen things like Poppy have their play in there with some counterplay to both of those type of characters. So essentially, for me, it's going to be jungle first, support second, and then whatever crazy picks the laners want to look at there. So
Fair enough. I'm a jungler myself. I want to see Talia back in the jungle, but of course, Riot's not going to allow that right now. She's got to be in the mid lane in order for her to be effective, according to the higher ups, whatever that may be. But probably not going to see any Talia jungle today. But other than that, though, we did get to see, or we didn't get to see on stream, but Teferi was played in the AML 2 weeks ago for our last regular season matchup. Cosmic Crabs from Primal Instinct Purple picking it up in their first game against TA Distortion. Didn't go very well, but they did play it. So, there is that opportunity for us to see some of those crazy picks. Neferi, Kha'Zix, a lot of that Maokai that you were talking about coming in from Cosmic Crabs, even an Ivern going in last week. But, for the AML in general, I feel like we've definitely seen that prevalence of the tank jungle being the norm here. We haven't really seen a lot of assassin jungles. We've seen maybe Kane once or twice, but other than that, it's really been those tank jungles are really trying to be, you know, a beefy frontline member that could disrupt and get into the lanes in the early game, but then also be somewhat protecting of their carries as they move in to the mid and late game. Haven't really seen those assassin plays like you were talking about, but we might see that here today. You know, anything is possible, especially as we get into the qualifiers. This is now the point when teams who maybe are waiting to put some, they're really trying to, pardon me, I'm like losing my words here, trying to go for something unique, go for something different that they've been training for. It's an opportunity for them to show that off here today. So I'm excited to see how that comes in to play as we get ourselves into the draft.
Yeah, most definitely. I enjoy high octane gameplay. I don't know if you watched the LEC finals, but there was a game where they had 40 kills in about 25 minutes. That's the kind of League of Legends I want to see. I want to see people fighting, skirmishing, looking for objectives, looking for any sort of advantage you can get at all in the game. And a lot of the times that comes from just teams grouping. Early game, it'll be support, jungle, mid, you know, those type of roamings. But overall, if a team is good at skirmishing and they can convert those leads into later games or objectives, you see that team really be able to take over, especially in the mid game. And if either one of these teams is able to do that today, I will be excited for the day.
For sure. I mean, definitely that is something that we've seen in the bottom lane, especially here in the AML. We do have a lot of spicy top laners that have made their name within the Master Emerald Diamond level scene. You know, King Coney, some of the other, you know, Connie Sports X top laner, a bunch of others. There's too many to talk about, but mostly what we've seen is it has been this bottom support lane duo that has been the team to get their team off to a good start. If they can get some early kills, some solo kills, or even get some jungle assistance, I feel like they're usually going to find themselves an opportunity to do well in that particular game. But let's go ahead and get started with the draft. LCE Noir going to be over on the blue side with Primal Esports Purple picking the red side here for game one. Bans already underway. Nico, Thresh, J4 going to be banned out. That J4 that you were talking about, Panda. Got the Rel, the Sivir, and the Kindred gonna get taken away. So a lot of dynamic bans coming out here for this first game.
Yeah, I'm guessing that the Kindred is more of a pocket pick for the jungler for the blue side. I like Kindred. She's a really good counterplay to Jarvan, even especially in the mid game, because it kind of negates what Jarvan wants to do. As soon as you Cataclysm, you throw that Lamb's Respite down. But I understand that she is a very frustrating character to play against. So it looks like red side here does not want to deal with that. I am interested in seeing what they do go jungle, and it looks like the Maokai might be locked in here. It is going to be locked in. So we have this Tristana flex here and Maokai Kaisa in response. I'm really liking red side draft right now.
Yeah, LCE Noir, you know, going, like you said, talking about that Tristana pick, it is flexible, and we have seen both Obongo and Your Mom's OP both play it in the regular season to, unfortunately, varying degrees of success. Your Mom's OP positive on Tristana here in the regular season, but Obongo is negative by a couple of games. So definitely want to keep that in mind as we get ourselves into the draft. Primal Instinct Purple going in with that Maokai that you were talking about earlier. You know, Maokai is fairly stable. It is also flexible. Could potentially see it in the bottom lane for Turtle. Does like to play some of those tank supports and has played it in the regular season with that Kaisa. So could potentially be seeing that, could potentially be seeing a Taric be picked up as well if Primal Instinct wants to go for something of a very strong front line to keep that Kaisa safe. On the other hand, Poppy getting locked in along with the Ezreal, that confirms to me in my mind, Panda, that we're going to see Tristan in the mid lane, and that's going to be the Ezreal going to be for your mom's OP in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I'm not too sure I would have locked that in right now. You wanted to keep that draft pressure on that, hey, we have a Tristana, we have a Poppy, we're really, really flexible. We want to make sure that you guys don't know what we're doing. And then you immediately lock the Ezreal on 3. So you not only give them that, you give them counter pick here in the mid because they now know that it's Tristana for sure. And you kind of give them leeway into, hey, what do we want to move for this Maokai? We know it's going against a Poppy if it's jungle. If it's not jungle, we can swap his support and look for a better play into Poppy. Things teams like Viego and some of the other bruisery jungles have done pretty well into Poppy. You do have to manage yourself because the dash block is kind of annoying. And I do like where the Poppy is sitting now because all three of these characters have some sort of dash and movement ability that she can kind of negate. But I don't know if that was the side, or that was the pick for the side of the blue side that you wanted to make there on 3.
Yeah, Taconic or Itonic is going to be playing the Poppy here in the jungle. I would be very surprised to see either Draconus or Storm the Bleach going for that pick in either the top lane or the support role respectively. We have not seen them play that in the regular season. It has only been Taconic playing that there in the jungle role. And again, you know, does kind of seem like it was a little bit of a secondary pick for them. They did lose out on that Kindred, like you were talking about, that Rel jungle that is also available. But with the top lane still being available, we are going to see a couple of those bans get taken away for both teams, as the Camille, the Renekton, and the Jax all get denied. Primal Instinct Purple getting their first pick of the remaining litter, and it's Ornn that is going to be the lock-in here.
A good thing for blue side here is Poppy's, you know, negating dashes works on Ornn as well. Bad thing for blue side here is this is a killer comp for red side. You have pretty much every single thing that you want to do. I do like the Braum response. This can block out the Ornn. Is going to be a little bit more mitigated towards the Maokai. You know, kind of can be that front line overall if it is locked in, which it does look like it will be. And yeah, that Olaf is going to confirm the Poppy is in the jungle. Now, we still have a flex here for Maokai. He can go support, he can go jungle, and it is kind of playing it by ear right now. I do hope that we get something a little bit more aggro. I'm not sure about the Zyra, but it looks pretty good versus this bot lane in the Braum Ezreal. Get some poke out there, and can definitely pair well with the Kai'Sa. It is going to be a lot of AP damage on the bot side of the map, so you may want Jace to hit roams, Jace to hit more poke, but this is looking like a fantastic squad. You have poke, you have engage, you have everything you want for the red side. Meanwhile, on the blue side, it's a little too squishy, it's a little too unsynergistic in my mind, but if they get ahead, they're going to be very, very hard to deal with.
Yeah, Septi's going to be very happy to see the Braum get picked up, but also a little bit unhappy seeing the Zyra get locked in. We've seen some very interesting Zyra builds here in the AML. It's almost a meme at this point when it goes into the bottom lane, but if it's able to get ahead and if it's able to be effective against the Braum, really shuts down what the Braum can do in lane. If you're able to land those grasping vines, if you're able to land the tango roots, you're going to find yourself into a very tough position in that bottom lane, especially with the Kai'Sa then being able to get into the right position in the lane to be able to find those kills early on. And then later in the game, you've got CC on top of CC on top of CC to allow for this Jace Kai'Sa duo to really start to take control with that damage. A little bit of poke potentially going to be here. We could maybe see a shift back over to that static Shiv Kai'Sa build, trying to go for a little bit more AP, to be a little bit more, I guess, magic and AD, so that they have a little bit of both. But they could also just decide to go for a Kraken Slayer build if they want to just go through that front line. I'm very curious to see how they are going to navigate that part of their building path. But like we were talking about before, Panda, they have a very strong composition that works very well as a team, not only engaging, but also getting in that poke damage to start off.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. They're just really strong all around. The blue side definitely has a way that they want to play the game, but I fail to see when you're going to want to engage and who you're going to engage on, seeing as there's so much poke from the opposition. And even Olaf, who can just kind of negate some of the CC, is going to have a really tough time getting on this backline. If Maokai jumps on him, maybe we see some sort of skirmish happen where the Ragnarok does do something well. But right now, it just seems like they wanted something specific and they weren't able to necessarily get it compared to Red Side Draft. And it just didn't flesh out like they wanted.
Fair enough. Sorry, we're just getting back into the chat. Unfortunately, draft had to get reset. Someone's computer crashed, so we're gonna have to get that reset here. So we're gonna have probably a little bit of a longer break than usual. But Panda, I gotta talk to you now here about I want to say the jungle. You know, I want to talk about the opportunities here that both these teams are going to be able to provide. You were talking about how you like to see that, or like to see how the jungle plays out, but then also how that kind of navigates, or not how that navigates, but also how that also can play into the support role. Because I believe you're a support role, correct?
Yes, yes.
Support player. Okay, so let's talk about the jungle first because you were talking about that, how important it can be. It's going to be, you know, Maokai versus Poppy. I think we've seen this a lot here recently, but in your opinion, who's going to have the advantage in the early game for those ganks?
So Poppy will have a bit of the advantage early just because of the speed boost and paired with the Braum Ezreal. There's going to be a lot of ability to get on top of somebody and, you know, actually stack up those Braum passive strikes and actually get a stun off. The problem is that red side wants to receive you. They want you to push onto them because that's when Maokai shines. Whenever you're able to turn with people like Zyra and Kaisa, who can put out a lot of damage, especially when you're running into them, and then can also chase and put out a lot of poke damage, with Maokai lockdown, it's going to be a very, very strong 3v3 for both sides initially, but the longer the game goes, the better it gets for red side. If blue side is able to get maybe an invade or strike early, they can get this Ezreal up, and that could be a big difference in the game overall. But I think right now, I would probably lean more towards red side in general for the whole game, especially in the 3v3 for that bot jungle side.
Yeah, and I expect for Primal Instinct Purple, they can be, you know, the red side of this team, that they're going to be relatively bloody, as well as making sure that in the early game they're getting that CS advantage in comparison to LCE Noir. The KDA, the combat wise for Primal Instinct Purple, according to the Dewan stats, is 1.27 comparatively to LCE Noir, who is at 0.94. So Primal Instinct Purple really going in to pick up those kills and really trying to use that not only to get an advantage in gold, but then also try to have those power plays when your opponents are down and having to respawn. Looking at creep score per minute, you know, 30.73 per minute for Primal Instinct Purple, 28.92 for LC Noir. So on the economy side of things, it does seem like Primal Instinct Purple is going to have a slight advantage moving into this game, which is definitely going to be concerning here if that ends up being the case, especially when LC Noir has drafted a composition with two ADs, right? You know, both Tristana and Ezreal should have a pretty easy time being able to get that CS in the early game if they're not able to do that. And if we get to, say, the 15-minute mark with their opponents being at a similar, or God forbid, an even higher CS level, I think we're going to have a really difficult time seeing LC Noir have enough damage to get themselves through that mid-game hurdle to a point where then the ADCs are just unstoppable. So, you know, talking about that draft, talking about the things you were talking about, I do favor the side of Primal Instinct Purple here in this first game, but it's all about execution as we get into it. With that being said, though, Panda, before we take it to a quick break, what I like to do is give us an opportunity to see who's feeling lucky, who has the right predictions on the Dragon Souls and Rifts. So we're each going to get 3 total. I'll let you go first. You can pick 2 dragons, then I'll pick 2, then you'll pick 1, and then I'll have the last one. So whenever you're ready, give us 2 dragons that you think it's going to be the Dragon Soul and Rift here for game 1.
Soul. I'm gonna go with Wind Dragon. I think that's
Cloud?
a very might be the possibility here. Do I pick 2 off rip, or do you pick the next one?
You pick 2. You pick 2.
Okay, I'll go Cloud and Ocean.
Cloud and Ocean. Funny enough,
Yeah.
Cloud has never been the Soul and Rift
Really?
on stream here for the AML, so this might be the chance for you to get it. And you said Ocean for the second one. That is a middling of the road dragon here. On behalf of Septi, who's not here today, I'm gonna go with both the Chemtech and the Hextech Soul and Rift here for my 2 picks. We'll see one of them, I guaranteed, here in this first game.
So do we go? What was the next one? I'm so sorry.
You've got Infernal or Mountain as your final pick.
Okay, I'm gonna go Mountain. I think there's too much damage across the board for these teams to get that lucky on the roll. So
Fair enough. Which leaves Infernal for myself. So, all right, we've got all that set up. We've got the draft spectator delay underway, and we are ready to start this first week of qualifier matches here in just a couple of minutes. Of course, folks, you guys are not done so already. Please follow the Twitch, join the Discord, and follow the Twitter, X, whatever it's called, to stay up to date on all of the latest Aegis content. I know that we're also starting, I believe, signups for the ACL Fall 2023 split. So if you guys are Challenger level tier and wants to find yourselves with the highest glory and the highest honor in terms of MMR and all that fun stuff, ACL Fall 2023 going to be fun. With that being said, though, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in about 2.5 minutes to start off this series. Don't go anywhere.
This city never sleeps, chemically brought down on its knees. With every breath that I breathe, clenched fists and gritting teeth. Tonight the energy flowing in me is waiting for relief. Thunder beneath my feet, a sight you won't believe. Until the dawn, the darkness falls, and I lose control. I feel it in my bones, a spark to lead us through the shadows. Can I fight the way before me? It's coursing through my soul, a road to guide us through the sorrow. Can I calm this storm inside me? This electricity, a part of me that's under pressure. Charged up, my fuse igniting, a sight you wanna see. I'm outside, pointing to the sky, gonna make the earth shake, 'cause you can't contain me. Voltage bursts through the black of my eyes, put my finger on the trigger and I'll shock you, baby. Against the odds, until the dawn, the darkness falls, and I lose control. I feel it in my bones, a spark to lead us through the shadows. Can I fight the way before me? It's coursing through my soul, a road to guide us through the sorrow. Can I calm this storm inside me? I feel it in my bones, a spark to lead us through the shadows. Can I fight the way before me? It's coursing through my soul, a road to guide us through the sorrow. Can I calm this storm inside me? I feel it in my bones, a spark to lead us through the shadows. Can I fight the way before me? It's coursing through my soul, a road to guide us through the sorrow.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Aegis Marauders League. First week of qualifiers is now underway. And well, the gravity of the games has changed. Our sponsor for the AML has not. Aegis Esports League of Legends is sponsored by Coachify GG for the summer 2023 split. Coachify is a commission-free esports coaching platform currently in open beta. Become a coach today and track your students, inspire them to succeed, and turn your passion into a career. Click the panel located below the stream to check out their website for more information. Whew. All right, Panda, how'd I do?
You did great. Just as I thought, blue side here did look for that I guess cheeky little grab play here with 5 in the bot lane, but they didn't find much here, so they're just going to spread back out across the map. No deep vision was garnered either by red side here, so it did turn out fine.
Yeah, you know, I would have been a little bit excited to see maybe going for like an aggressive, you know, warding of there from LCE, especially since you're diverting so much of that early, like before minions spawn resources towards the bottom side of the rift. But it also makes sense not trying to go too far and maybe overplay your hand. Had that 5N death rush been seen, of course, it would have given an opportunity for PIP to get some warding onto, you know, the top side of the rift and make it difficult for the jungle to stay in the fog of war.
Yes, most definitely. If we take a look at summoner spells and runes here, it looks pretty standard across the board. The Olaf did not bring teleport though, so it does look like Ezreal and Tristana will be the main focal points of spreading the map, maybe getting some of these resources across, and playing that essentially 1-3-1 that we talked about during the break. For the opposite side, it does look like Kai'Sa's going to look for that that AP build with a lot of damage coming out from the Ornn. I was going to say that Olaf needs to win this lane pretty hard, but that does not bode well for his start.
Yeah, I mean, that Bellows Breath, getting that Brittle proc, and then into just all of that damage. Now, Dracanis is going to be in a very difficult position, and Cosmic Crabs is smelling the blood in the water. Flash and goes for this Olaf, though, recognizing the play was underway. Not going to be able to do so. Nice warding coming in from the Olaf to make sure that they survive. But doesn't look like the play is over yet. It is going to be a 2v2 with now Cosmic Crabs maybe in a rough position, going to have to use the Twisted Advance to be able to get out of Dracanis' position there. Down to 100 HP, Ghost was popped, but no one goes down.
Yeah, a bit of a head scratcher there. I don't think you guys really want to fight that as far as blue side is concerned. And now it looks like maybe a repeat here as Maokai steps back into the tri-brush here. They're playing it pretty safe, but it does look like they actually do want to fight here, and Connick's here, and he has a huge stun onto the wall. He's gonna actually get him really low. Unfortunately, it's not gonna be enough, but now Barbie has the hit, does not have enough to finish off the Poppy, and it will just be everybody walking home with their tail between their legs.
Wow, and Barbie is still staying in on this one. I think, you know, overall, Primal Instinct Purple going to be happy with that one, considering that Barbie able to stay in lane with much more HP than Dracanis has, down to less than 200. So overall, you know, I think LCE Noir not getting what they were hoping for there, and both junglers not backing, actually. Atonic is just going to stay in the jungle, going to go for the rest of his buffs, and that's going to mean that Cosmic Crabs is going to have the first play onto the bottom side of the rift.
Not only that, but it might disrupt the pathing tracking from Cosmic, because you often think that the Poppy's just going to reset there, and now it looks like an easy kill in mid lane. Forces out the flash on the Jace, so it won't actually convert that, but what a good play out of the Tristana.
Yeah, but unfortunately not getting any ignite, not having the opportunity to finish the job there at Bongo. It'd be a little sad that they weren't able to get the first blood, but like we were talking about, that's going to force out the flash. It's also going to force out the teleport from this Jace in order for them to be able to come back. And considering that, you know, Hare went for the Cole and is not able to go back with a pretty aggressive back, only a removable potion, and it's here, you're definitely happy if you're LCE Noir with your performance or your mid laner.
Now this is going to be a collapse. They actually saw Poppy topside, so Cosmic thinks he's okay here. He does have the flash. He goes over the wall, and that's going to be an easy, not first blood. It's actually first blood for the bot side here. Cosmic does go down in answer, but PIP picking up the first blood just before that happens.
Yeah, and that's going to give them a 300 gold advantage. Your mama OP dead for a second and then back into lane. We'll use that teleport to be able to come back here and kind of reset, because that lane is not looking too good there. We're able to get those minions taken out. That will reset it to mid, and then we'll force out Nutty and Turtle to go back themselves. And overall, getting that first blood on a Nutty, who is that Kaisa who wants to get ahead and get that static shiv. Pretty good for Primal Purple in the first 5 minutes.
Definitely good for them. I think picking up the kill on Tristana really helps out what LC wants to do here. And this is just good old top laner stuff. He's going to go ahead and proxy that wave a little bit, but he does not know that Maokai's in the vicinity. Should find out really soon. Does have 6, does have Ragnarok online, so it's not exactly the worst position for an Olaf to be in, but he will skedaddle there as the bot lane's reset.
Maybe even looking to go for a very deep proxy, and will be able to get it. There's not really, I think, a response right now for Primal Purple, considering that Cosmic Crabs is level 4. And I don't think that they would be able to navigate the 1v1, and showing it in that could mean that Dragon also gets taken as well. So just maybe kind of holding their cards close to their chest here and waiting to see if maybe another play could come into fruition later on. Another cold purchase, though, as Nutty decided to go for one in the bottom lane. Cosmic Crab's going to be disrupted on their back, which actually could mean LCE Noir goes for this dragon here in a couple of seconds.
Okay. Yeah, if I was my bot lane, I would hurry up and shove this back towards the midpoint reset. Maybe see if Poppy can come down and help us out a little bit, and then try to get that dragon. It does look like Maokai's going to be back out on the map before anything happens, and unfortunately, it will be a Hex Tech first, so that's one of your dragons off the board already. But it does look like Poppy is making her way down towards the spot side, and I think at least Nutty One and Turtle will have to respect the thought of Poppy coming down.
Nicely done, though. I think coming in from Storm the Bleach, using that wall to be able to stop those roots from being effective throughout the laning phase. Did lose out on that first kill, though. Was not able to keep your mom's OP protected all the time, but the end results of that back being disrupted there from Cosmic Crabs means that first dragon going to go over to the side of LCE Noir. The Hextech Drake is going to go to them, which is not a bad Drake considering that you've got 2 ADs on your team.
Yeah, next up is Infernal, so they'll be kind of stacking that early damage. I believe that only leaves you with 1 Drake for the soul. It could be the trifecta, though. You know, you could have hit on all 3 that we could see this game. But I do want to point out that Olaf did run topside jungle and steal away the red buff, which is going to be really helpful for his lane. Not only the fact that you get the slow, you get the extra damage, the burn damage, but you also sustain yourself. So these trades that you make with the Ornn that were pretty detrimental early can be really easy coming up now with the red buff.
67 CS, 255 in favor of Dracanis, which I think is, to be expected going up against Barbie as the Ornn. Ornn is not expected to have a CS advantage. As long as you don't die, you're going to put yourself into a really good position there. But big development right now in the last couple of seconds is that Rift Herald is going to get taken by Cosmic Crabs. With Turtle roaming up to the top side of the Rift, it means that Nutty is in a tough spot in a 1v3 for a couple of seconds. Was able to get away, but now it's Iconic could potentially find themselves in trouble. We'll be taking a shock blast to the face, but we'll be able to walk out.
I like Poppy fishing for that play. There's nothing much you can do anywhere else. Your camps aren't up just yet. But now as we look, Maokai is on the top side of the map, and both Olaf and Poppy are looking here. They do have a read on it, but Maokai's going to be able to get out beforehand with the help of that Rift Herald quick back there. So he will actually be able to pick up his buffs, only lose a Gromp. Good job out of Maokai to take more than what he probably should have got there, as you already had the Rift Herald. But I think that right now, Blue Side is doing a good job at their game plan, what they wanted to do coming in, seeing as they are ahead where it matters.
Ghost gonna get popped by Dracanis, as well as the Ragnarok flash as well. What is Dracanis doing? Ragnarok is gonna get popped, will avoid the knockup there, but all of the resources getting used by the Olaf in the top lane and getting nothing in return for it so far.
Yeah, not so sure about that. Maybe he wanted to chunk him out, force back, just since Ornn had just popped that TP up. but I mean, it really was fruitless there. He didn't even get the flash out of Ornn and burned his R. Maybe that's your shining light there, but unless you can apply more pressure over the next 2.5 minutes to really force him out of that position, it's going to be a tough one.
Oh no! Iconic did not get the wall stun onto Haruki, and now potentially a play for Cosmic Crabs, getting a very nice twisted advance into the ultimate, into the damage, and that play is turned on its head. Haruki will take their first kill and will take down Iconic.
That is so unfortunate for Iconic. I've seen this happen countless times. The front plate of the turrets does not count as the wall for the turret. So if you hit him by it, it actually moves right past it. And unless you clip onto the back wall, it does not stun. So he actually fell victim to that little bit of a layout differential there, and he's going to be upset about that when he did actually fall. But I mean, they're in a pretty decent spot still, not down very much as far as gold, and if I'm not mistaken, they are pretty close to this next drag upcoming as the resets come in.
Yep, 121 remaining now. Haruki gonna try to make it a 1-0. Will be able to take down Obongo. Haruki survives as well. Oh no! Obongo win for the all-in, and the house will take all of their money. Haruki now 2-0.
Yeah, so the drag is pretty much out of the question now. You kind of just hard into the setup that you were going to have, unless bot side comes up big with this. But Maokai's already here. Poppy shows up, but a TP comes through from the Jace, I do believe, and they're going to have to turn tail.
Oh no, Taconic is gonna go down, and that was a great flash coming in from Turtle to be able to stay alive. You get the thumbs up, the Red Tail's gonna drop as well, and this is not over yet. Nature's Grasp is gonna land the root in onto Storm the Bleach. Not gonna be able to get the root onto your mom's OP, and Cosmic Crab is gonna be forced to teleport or flash away. That's going to be 4 members of the Primal Instinct Purple squad down in the bottom lane. They do not get the tower, but they force out a lot of summoners and a lot of resources to save this tower.
Yeah, if I'm LC here, I'm trying to ping onto the Baron. You know that these players have to take a reset, and this is going to be your best answer back here. Ezreal does look like he wants to take a back himself, though. So I don't know if they're actually going to be able to go for this dragon. But I mean, what a play out of the red side here. They are able to take more than what they wanted as blue side just engages into them. And that's what I talked about before game, is they are more than welcome for you to come into them and then take all this damage. And then when you're trying to run away, just layer it. But it does look like LC is going to be able to take dragon on the back end anyways.
I'm going to be able to take that Infernal Drake. We'll get to see what the soul is here in just a moment. But hey, it's going to be the Mountain, so it is going to be one of your Drakes as expected, Panda. Good job. And we are going to actually see that be the soul as well. You were talking about how it couldn't be the Mountain Soul because of all the damage that both of these teams could potentially have, and just look at it. Now it is going to be the Mountain Soul here for this game.
Yeah, it does look like they want to negate some of this damage, and I mean, it's really good on LC to already have 2 Drakes here. It makes a huge world of difference when you're talking about soul point and how you want to take the map and how you want to position for objectives. This could potentially be a little bit of a saving grace for maybe another 5 to 10 minutes that you need to ramp up here. But it could also just help out PIP and the fact that they have an Ornn. They want to play late. They want this poke style gameplay to come online, and it's making it easier on them to fight in this style.
Side shift also completed now here for Nutty One, going to be able to get that slow, going to be able to get that extra damage into it, and really putting in that damage there, potentially with that passive, unable to get it there, as they are now going to be engaged upon. Turtle is now going to be the target. Heal's going to get popped. Turtle is going to be extremely low and will go down after getting the knockup in onto Taconic. Nutty One is still in the area as we got Barbie now coming through. Going to try to be able to go for the call of the Forge God, but it gets denied, and that's Iconic saying sayonara to Barbie. Nutty One will be left there all alone, and that play does not work out for Primal Instinct Purple.
The MVP of that play by far is Storm the Bleach. He successfully blocked not only one but 3 major skill shots and resets that came through. He flashes backwards to block the Ornn ulti on the first charge that stops anyone from getting hit and taking any brittle damage or proccing. That's just such a heads up play out of the Braum, and if he's making plays like that, that can really do well for them later in the game. But now it looks like Poppy's gonna get jumped on here. Probably might go down. The flash over the wall is just enough with the sidestep to get away from the Kaisa. What a good play.
Yeah, Voidseeker barely going to miss there, but you do survive. You do lose out on that big summoner spell. You don't have ultimate, which could mean that Rift Herald is now up for grabs here for the side of Primal Instinct Purple. Nature's Grasp is also going to get brought by Cosmic Crab, maybe looking to go for a play here against his bottom lane duo. Nutty One does have a lot of damage and that slowing potential with the static shift, unable to find the play that they wanted, though, in terms of getting any kills. And we'll see if anything comes out of that later on. Turtle is going to be in very deep trouble, though. Obongo gets that one. Doesn't even have to pop ult, or does pop ult, never mind.
Bongo said, hey, you're not supposed to be in my lane, and he definitely took him down there, which not only frees up an extra kill for him as he's sitting 2-1 on the Tristana, but it helps him take this Rift Herald here. I don't know why Maokai wanted to prioritize the bot side scuffle here. It made more sense to just try to get your lead ahead with this Rift Herald, but now it looks like mid turret's just going to go down unless Jace has something to say about it. He does not fully, so it will be falling, and that is another huge chunk of gold into both the jungle and the mid here for LC.
Yeah, really big that Obongo was able to get that kill on to Turtle, and unfortunately, with Cosmic Crab not being in the top side of the Rift, easy smite steal for Taconic with, you know, Barbie and Haruki going for the Rift Herald by themselves. Taconic just says, hey, I might as well just go for this free Rift Herald. That's going to mean that they're going to get that mid-tier 1 tower. And like you were talking about as well, your mom's OP will take a tower in the bottom lane, which will give a little bit of a reprieve to the growing gold advantage that Primal Instinct Purple had. At the 17-minute mark in the game, it is Haruki with a lot of gold in comparison to Obongo in terms of the CS and in terms of the kills. But Obongo looking to maybe change that here. Turtle is going to be low. Turtle goes down.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Turtle. You're just in the wrong place, the wrong time so many times. And this could be a turnaround. Drac is not going to go back in, it looks like. An early, I'm sure if that would have stunned, they might have looked for more there. Drac did have to burn the flash here, so Barbie's doing pretty well for himself. Not too far down into Ornn lane, especially against something like an Olaf. This does not bode well for how LC wanted to attack the game. They wanted this Olaf to be more ahead. They still have the 1-3-1 available to them, but I feel like if you step away from this Drake, which you're probably going to have to, seeing as both your mid and your support have to back here, looks actually like they want to contest. Ezreal does have TP up as well, so we may actually see this soul point be contested here. But if you do not get this, it kind of slows down the pace that you wanted to take into the game, and it makes it easier for PIP to get more in these next 5 minutes.
Mom OP has not popped that teleport, nor has Barbie on the top side of the Rift. Barbie can stun out the teleport from your mom's OP if they are not careful, but it does look like they are going to separate for the time being, and the teleport has now been initiated by both the players in the top lane, and now the dragon fight has started in earnest. 8,000 HP remaining on that Mountain Drake with the pit in control for the side of LCE Noir. They're going to get it down to about 4,000 HP. Who's going to get the dragons? The Nature's Grabs is going to get dropped. Cosmic Crab's getting taken away. Who will get it? And it's going to go towards the blue side. LCE Noir gets the dragon, but do they get their lives? Will they be able to get out of it? They will not. Haruki is going to go down. Could potentially even be more. Nutty One could potentially use that killer instinct. Does not pop it. As now Dracanis is going to go down. Does he take Barbie with him? He does not. Cosmic Crabs will take down Drac. And Nutty One and Haruki looking to maybe go for more. Your mom's OP is going to go in with no mana. I don't think that was the play they wanted. And that's 4-0 in favor of Primal Instinct Purple.
Oh, Bongo, you're gonna get caught. Yes, Turtle actually picks up the last hit there. What a play out of PIP. You lose the Drake, you think you're gonna go down, maybe only take 1 or 2 down with you, and then just kind of fumbles out of LC. A lot of missteps there. The Ezreal eating forward when you didn't necessarily have much damage. I think he believed that the procs from the Braum passive were still gonna stack, and then he missed a Q, if I'm not mistaken, and that actually made them go away, and then he was kind of left out to dry there. Braum just trying to trade up on the Ezreal drop, and then Ubungo trying to be cheeky there, actually gets hit by the last little bit of Turtle's damage coming out from those plants, and that's a clean ace from the side of PIP. They almost lost 2 in the pit, but it wasn't enough to get the damage out of Jackius.
Yeah, very good play coming in here from Primal Instinct Purple. We can take a look at the gold. We can see where all of that money went. It went to the bottom side of the Rift. 2 of those kills going over to Turtle, who now has a 1,200 gold advantage against Storm the Bleach. It is a 1,000 gold advantage for Nutty against your mom's OP on this Kaisa, and a 1,300 gold advantage for the mid lane. But now we got to play here in the mid lane themselves. Oh no, Taconic will go down. But it is going to be a 1-for-1 as your mom's OP will get the shutdown onto Turtle.
Yeah, you know, hindsight being 2020, yay, good job, Atonic. You did exactly what you wanted. You want to get a shutdown on your ADC, but that was biting off a little bit more than you can chew. You can't really have your jungler doing that, especially when your objective control is probably the one thing in the game that can keep you in it. Getting these dragons, making sure that Baron's not taken or snuck by PIP, and then kind of overlaying your sense of pressure from the drags and the objectives into pressure for the 1-3-1 is going to be the win con for this team, at least for right now, until they can get some more items online, until they have more fighting power here. But I gotta say, PIP is doing a great job of not only mitigating what LC wants to do, but also fighting for the right things. They're not trying to skirmish for anything that's too insignificant, and Turtle's only been the real casualty across the board, but it looks like Ubungo might just take down Barbie.
Barbie is in trouble as the turret does go down. Ubongo should be able to get out of that one. Not really any chance of Barbie going down, but the big play here now is that those ornaments will now start to come online for Barbie. 0, 0, and 1 has been on the Rift for as long as possible and will be able to start handing out those upgraded items very, very soon here, Panda. And with both Haruki and Nutty One playing so well at this point in the game, you've got really the opportunity to really start to put in some damage for your damage dealers. All it takes now is for Barbie to get level 15 and they're going to start rolling.
Yeah, that the Eclipse upgrade is actually disgusting. We'll have to see what Mythic Kaisa goes into here. Could be the Ludens, could be the Leandries, but I do believe regardless, you upgrade that Jace first, let Kaisa get the second one, and then just watch as that poke damage comes through so well. And they can now just position across any objective that they want, poke the majority of LC out, and then just have a win there. Your biggest problem is that you could get engaged on by Poppy plus Olaf plus Ragnarok, and maybe that is enough, but for right now, it does not look it.
River control going to be for Primal Instinct Purple with that 4,000 gold lead. In terms of, item differences here, it's going to be similar items for Haruki and Ubongo at this point in the game with a slight, parts advantage for this Jace, a 2-item to 2-item for your mom's OP against Nutty One. So, if there was a chance for LCE Noir to stay in this game and get this Mountain Soul, I think now would be the time, because if you wait any longer, it could potentially be GG with Nutty One and Naruki just getting too far ahead. We'll see if they are able to make that happen.
Yeah, and if you let the side of PIP stack up these mountain drinks, it's going to be more and more difficult to get through this front line, and they have quite a bit of it for the side of PIP, but it looks to get engaged already coming through. Ornn is forcing out the ulti, and that actually lands onto the Poppy.
Wow.
And now you're gonna have a lot of damage coming across to the Drake, but Poppy steals it, and a huge play out of both the Poppy and the Olaf in the pit, and then just outside of it. This is actually a murder here, as not only do most of PIP fall, I think they all will fall if this Maokai is taken down. The stun lands, and that's gonna be a clean ace for LC, turning it right on its head.
Wow, Atonic is going to be the player of that fight and might actually have the play of the game. Getting the smite steal for the second dragon in a row will be able to turn that fight on its head, and that is going to be the Mountain Soul at 24 minutes in, Panda. Not only that, but they're going to take the mid tier 1 tower and Baron on top of that. Huge play coming in from the LCE Noir squad as they flip this game right on its head.
That was such a conundrum that you allow not only Poppy to play in the pit, you dodge her R, which is a good on you for PIP, but then you miss smite, and then Olaf gets to run free in your backline. It's just so difficult to see where you intentionally, or where you drop the ball essentially, because you have so many poke tools, you have so many abilities to just keep them away from you and or just poke them out, and it just doesn't come to fruition on any of them.
Yeah, it's going to be, a very tough couple of minutes here for Primal Instinct Purple. Thankfully for them, moving into that dragon fight, they had the gold advantage, and so they did lose out on that gold advantage, but it is still an even game gold-wise here at the 20-minute mark. They just now have to hold on to their base. But LCE Noir, they are now the team that is looking to potentially end this game. I don't know if they're going to be able to end it with this Baron, but they're going to be able to do significant damage with this 1-3-1 strategy that they could potentially trying to go for. Obongo with that TP in the top lane. You've got your Mom's OP with that TP in the bottom lane. They're going to be able to get that mid tier 2 tower, or that top tier 2 tower, and that bottom tier 2 tower to go down. It is just the inhibitor towers remaining for Primal Instinct Purple.
Yeah, and while they might be Primal Instinct Purple, LC is Sporting Purple. They're taking all 3 towers at once here. Bongo might be in a little bit of trouble, but the Ornn ulti misses on the second cast, so now he's just playfully keeping the wave pushed in here. Draknius also doing the same in mid, and they are taking a lot of damage to this bot side. Chino has to retreat a little bit, is chunked out here, and now we might see a full committal here over the wall towards the bot side. But they'll just take that turn and back off, while Obongo takes the inhibitor top side as well.
Wow, good performance so far from LCE Noir. They get the inhibitor in the top lane, and now with 50 seconds remaining, they can go for the inhibitor tower in the mid lane, Panda. This is just absolute disaster for Primal Instinct Purple. They do get the knockup, and they do get the Nature's Grasp, but a huge True Shot barrage is going to leave Primal Instinct Purple with very low health bars, and with 30 seconds remaining on Baron, LCE Noir is going for the throat here, Panda. They're gonna get the second inhibitor go down. They're most likely going to get the third. They will get the third, Panda, and there is just no stopping the blue side of the rift.
Yeah, you don't even have a flank ward really set up. I mean, that one would have been it, but you only have TP on Jason Ornn right now, and Ornn has no ulti. It's looking like this is just a better play out of LC overall so far. And I do want to point out that the Ludens was actually built for Kai'Sa, and the first upgrade came in for the Zyra. So a couple of head scratches there as far as the itemization and the selection choices out of Barbie on who to give the upgrades to. I would have really loved to see the Sizzy Gizzy, or however you say that one, out of on the Jace. But now you have a very, very tough fight to deal with. You have Elder coming up in 1 minute and 50 seconds if they don't end the game before then. And it looks like Turtle's going to be caught out and dead to rights.
Gonna be gone. There's nothing that they can do. What are you doing all the way far out on the rift all alone? Elder Drake isn't even spawning in 90 seconds, and you will just die. And I have to give it to LCE Noir here. They, looking at the draft, I was not a fan. Looking at the early game, I was not confident. But the fact that they were able to win that dragon fight and have now escalated this game from what could have potentially been a very difficult late game to a complete potential victory, they're just going to continue to find these plays coming through. Storm of the Bleach once again is going to deny the power of that Ornhorn. That ultimate is down for this next fight in a 5v4 for the next 5 seconds. Turtle is now back, but are they going to be able to potentially finish the job here? Turtle is going to be able to run in using those home guards to get into the fight. Shockwave Blast will do a little bit of damage, but that Mountain Soul is just stopping so much of that power from coming into play. 40 seconds remaining till the Elder Drake spawns, and LCE Noir are looking to end this game.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty standard end here. They're just going to go ahead back right now, grab every upgrade that they can if they want to. 25 seconds on the Elder. It looks like Bongo and Taconic want to catch somebody out here. Olaf is here as well, and Nutty's just going to get jumped on. Bongo's not going to let him leave, and Taconic blocks the dash away. Oh my goodness, and now they're just turning right into the base, forcing PIP to TP, or excuse me, back here and try to stop them, but I don't think it's going to be enough. You have 4 members here. The ulti from the Maokai comes out, but Turtle looks like he's gonna get chunked into oblivion. Taconic's gonna force Crab back into the team, and he's gonna fall. Turtle actually manages to survive there, but Mongo's gonna take the last turret here. Barbie does manage to get a little bit of damage out, but Conic lives! He absolutely lives! Turtle falls to your mom's OP! Your mom's OP gonna fall to the Nexus tower, or excuse me, the Nexus laser, and that's gonna be game 1, going to LC.
Wow, you know, coming into the qualifiers, LCE Noir, the team not favored to win this one. Now we're 2-5 in the regular season, had a negative score in terms of their series, and now look at them. They are the team that are 1 away from winning this qualifier match and being 1 step closer to making it into the playoffs. And for the side of Primal Instinct Purple, you're just wondering what happened. You had a composition that should have worked. You had things going in your favor that should have worked, but giving the Mountain Soul over to LCE Noir, you know, Taconic with some amazing smite steals, not even on Dragon 3, but also on Dragon 4, means that you're just able to storm through the base once you get that Baron, a Bongo, and your mom's OP being able to deal massive amounts of both champion and siege damage. You just aren't able to find a way back into it once you lose your footing that hard. It is that serious, and it is that intense here in the AML. Very nicely done from LCE Noir to take this first game.
Yeah, just great play all around. They hit on the key points that we talked about before game of how their comp succeeds. And my shout out has to go to Storm to Bleach. Every single time that they had a very impactful fight, his ultimates landed in the right spot. He was blocking the right amount of abilities and CC and damage that he possibly could. He had that Guardian working overtime. I saw your mom's OP being saved by that constantly. And my goodness, him and Taconic just played out of their minds for the position that their team put them in, playing these squishy, more ranged characters behind those 2 dedicated frontliners.
Very nicely done from LCE Noir. They have won game 1, and now it's going to be up to Primal Instinct Purple to figure out how they want to play game 2. They will get side selection once again. So, folks, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Your lips are stained with fiction. You always have your reasons, and I spoil you rotten. Your hands are sealed in pockets. You fill them with your secrets. To you, I am nothing. I am
You are the best at being the worst. You are the best at being the worst. With a little bit of love and a little more hate, it always hurts to say you are the best at being the worst. You seem so amazing. Flashing lights, always paraphrasing. Do or die. It took time to see the birds of you. It took time to leave. It's hard apart when you're part of me. So I say, you are the best at being the worst. You are the best at being the worst. With a little bit of love and a little more hate, it always hurts to say you are the best at being the worst. I'll be throbbing when you hurt me. Retreat, retreat, run from the anomaly. Toxic intentions. Ooh, the reality. It took time to see the birds of you. It took time to leave. It's hard apart when you're part of me. So I say, you are the best at being the worst. You are the best at being the worst. With a little bit of love and a little more hate, it always hurts to say you are the best at being the worst.
Welcome back, everybody. The Aegis Marauders League Game 2 has now commenced, with LCE Noir winning Game 1 after 2 smite steals from Edaconic and a very strong Baron push. Primal and Sick Purple is now behind the 8 ball and needs to win this game to keep this series alive. Goose and Panda here for today's Game 2. Nico, Thresh, Poppy gonna get banned away, and Kindred. Primal and Sick Purple not letting Edaconic get that Poppy like they did in Game 1.
Yeah, they're afraid, to say the least. I mean, he played really well, navigated a game that I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think he had much onus in. But I mean, this is great. I don't recall what their first draft, what that ban was on 2-3 there that changed. But
Rel.
we'll have to see if they picked it up. Rel, yes. So we'll see if LC picks that up off rip. It looks like they just want the safety of the Ezreal again.
Yep, gonna go with that Ezreal that your mom's OP did play there in Game 1. Not necessarily, I think, the shining part of the game, but once the rest of your team was able to get ahead, once you were able to get that second, third item with the Shrilda's Grudge, with the Tear of the God, or with the Trinity Force, you were able to start to put in enough damage, and ultimately, by the end of the round, the end of the match, having the most damage out of any player in Game 1. Now, Primal and Sick Purple has just gone off the deep end here. Belveth is going to be the R1 pick for PIP.
I am so excited. This is exactly the type of jungler that can completely take over a game. Not 100% sure about that pairing. Would like something a little bit less Azir, definitely. I also think you could just leave that up in the draft, play a different role or pick a different role here. You can answer back ADC, but now we have the Rel double flex. with the Tristana being picked up, so they're pretty much going back to the same exact formula LC that they won game one with. And I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it here. We'll have to see how much the differential between Rel and Poppy actually makes, not only for Edaconic, but for the side of LC period. And because you now know that Azir, I mean, unless they do something funky and send Azir as the ADC, you will have a Tristana versus Azir mid lane here. So this could play really well for Obongo, or if Haruki's able to, you know, maybe right the ship from last game. But woo, we have a Vayne locked in already. Interrel Ezreal Tristana, I'm not exactly sure that's the pick that I would have went for, but I mean, they're doing what they're doing over on PIP there.
I wonder if game one has gotten to them, Panda. I wonder if they are feeling the pressure and feeling, you know, the just overwhelming play that LCE Noir was able to put in during that Baron. You know, for the first 20 minutes of the game, I was fairly sure that Primal and Purple was going to take that win, and then for Edaconic to be able to get that Smite Seal, for LCE Noir to be able to get the 5-man ace, and I think it was like a 4-0 or like a 5-1 or something like that, and then to be able to get Baron, and then with Obongo and your mom's OP to be able to split the lane and to just deal that amount of devastation. It might be emotional damage here, because I'm not getting the draft so far, but I didn't get the draft from LCE Noir in game one, so maybe there's something that I'm not seeing. Let's go ahead and move into the second round of this pick ban. Nautilus, Olaf can take it away. LCE Noir going to stick with the bans that they went with in game one, with that Renekton and Jax getting taken away here.
Yeah, I do not think that we see another Ornn come out here. Not that it was played poorly from Barbie. I think he did a decent enough job, especially playing into an Olaf, but I just don't know if that's exactly what you want here. They're gonna go ahead and steal the Braum from Storm to Bleach, at least hover it here in response. Vayne Braum is a particularly decent combo when you stack stun with concussive blows. It can really hold somebody in place for a while. Now they want the counter pick top, and I want to see what LC has in their top lane pool, with Olaf being taken away as well as banning 2 top laners themselves. I think that this support counter pick here is also going to be a huge chunk of something that we pay attention to in the game, because Rel plus Ezreal plus question mark can be a very powerful 3v3, as can Bel'Veth plus Vayne plus Braum. So we'll have to see what that looks for. And we do have Camille here, so that will be the top lane answer. We'll have to see what the support pick is.
Yeah, LCE Noir going to take the Camille that was banned away from them in game one. The Olaf was the response instead. So yeah, it's going to be I think Primal Instinct Purple maybe wanting to go for some shenanigans here. Maybe we get to see Barbie go with the Vayne top lane, and then we go for something completely different. That could be the spice of life that Primal Instinct Purple is going for, but the Karma is going to be the final pick for LCE Noir, which means that we get the very oppressive level 1 to level 5 Karma Ezreal duo. They can really make it difficult whatever combination of champions you decide to go for. And since Vayne needs that time to ramp up, actually really like the pairing here with the Ezreal for LCE Noir here for game 2, as the Malphite is the final champion picked for this game.
Yeah, I mean, I know we were bad on LC's comp the first time around, but it looks like the pieces are even more together for exactly what they want to do here this time around on this blue side, and I think that I have to give them a bit of the edge. Game one definitely has something to do with it, of course, but I'm not seeing what you want to do on PIP. I guess get that first reset for Bel'Veth, maybe get her that R proc up, and then have her carry. But you have 3 different carries on this team. The facilities aren't necessarily there for them, but Braum Malphite can protect them as well. So we'll have to see how Camille plays into this Malphite. We'll have to see how this Tristana plays into this Azir. And I think those 2 lanes are definitely going to determine a lot, seeing as Bel'Veth probably not going to be ganking, you know, before level 3, before level 4, to try to do anything to these, at least the bot lane. We might see something happen in mid or top, like we did last game. where we did see the Maokai go top early, but I don't necessarily know if that's going to turn out well for them, or as well for them as it did before.
What's interesting here is that we are getting champions that have not been played by Primal Instinct Purple pretty much at all in the AML for this season, at least in their regular season games. This is going to be Haruki's first game on Azir here in the AML. Was not even banned in the regular season. This is just something that they completely decided to pull up here in this game. Barbie going to have only one game on that Malphite. Did get banned away a little bit more, but this is the first game that we're seeing that they're playing it. And the last time that they played it against Iceborne Black, they fell in that one. And same thing with the Belveth. Did not see any sort of Belveth in the regular season for them. So I'm curious to see what they decide to go for. It was up against a Renekton, I believe, if I'm reading this correctly. Pardon me, in the Malphite versus Renekton in that top lane. But regardless of what that says, what I'm telling you now is that Malphite, Belveth, and Azir, not common picks for Primal Instinct Purple.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't have been able to know that, but I am glad that you told me. This is exactly what I wanted to see coming in here. I wanted to see people mix it up. I wanted to see people play something that's not necessarily the standard League of Legends. And I mean, LC did that the first game off rip. Kind of threw us for a loop there, but now it looks like PIP wants to do that as well. Vayne, I haven't seen Vayne be played probably almost a year in some sort of organized game here, so it's going to be interesting to see her. But Belveth in general is just such a feast or famine champ in my mind. You do have the resets that can help later in the game, but she is your carry, bar none, to maybe Azir or Vayne, but like she can definitely take over a game if need be. And I would like to see her, especially in this early game, try to do something. Even though I don't think it's going to be that easy of a task with as much escape as you have on the side of LC and as much, honestly, tankiness as coming out of the Rel and the Camille early. But if she is able to get some early kills here, some mitigation of, some pressure that can come out of LC, this could be a really good game for Belveth.
And we'll have to see as we get ourselves into this potentially the final game of this series. Primal Instinct Purple, pulling out of the stops here in this qualifier. We'll see if it's enough for them to be able to pass a green light go and take us to a game 3. Before we take it to a break, Panda, you are correct in it being a Mountain Soul here in game 1. That's going to give me the opportunity to pick the first 2 Drakes for this Dragon Soul prediction here in game 2. And I think I'm going to go once again for my boy Septi. I'm going to go with the Hextech and the Chemtech Drake. It's going to be one of the 2.
We'll take the Mountain and the Cloud off the table here. I think it might see a repeat of the Mountain Drake, which would just be great for LC.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see if there's a repeat. We've seen a couple of repeats here on stream. And I'm going to go with the Ocean Soul as my final pick, which is going to leave you with Infernal there, Panda. So going to be a fun game regardless of what soul it's going to be. Let's see if LCE Noir has what it takes to make it a 2-0 against Primal Instinct Purple, or Primal Instinct Purple will be able to figure it out, and will we get ourselves to a game 3 situation? We'll be right back, folks. Welcome back, everybody, to the Aegis Marauders League. Game 2 has now begun. Not necessarily a do or die game for Primal Instinct Purple, but if they lose out in this series, they will be in danger of being eliminated next week. That is the importance of this game moving forward here, Panda. You want to make sure that you do not have to be in fear of elimination in the qualifiers. And so, for Primal Instinct Purple, this is a must-win game in terms of that. But with that being said, Panda, you're talking about the power of Bel'Veth and the carry potential that they can give. How does Cosmic Crabs navigate the early game, navigate the mid game for them to be that decisive carry?
It is going to be very tough. You have so much escape. Not only do you have a Tristana that can jump away, you have an Ezreal that can jump away. Camille also can jump away, and it makes you want to target someplace where you have solid CC set up. But I mean, if you look at his lanes, he does not really have that pre-6. I mean, you have the Braum stack and the Vayne, so that is your best effort there. But Karma, Ezreal are going to run that lane so heavy that it's pretty much a detriment for you to stop farming to come down there, unless it's an absolute necessity to save them from maybe a rel gank coming forward. So it's gonna take a, for lack of a better word, a miracle for them to get this Bel'Veth really fed, or just a lot of mistakes on LC's side.
We'll have to see if they do, get that opportunity to make that happen. And, to your point, what lane do they have the opportunity to gank, considering that, early game advantage is going to go over to Obongo. Early game advantage is going to go up against your mom's OP and Storm the Bleach. They're not going to be able to get that early game prowess unless they're able to find something that they weren't able to, or something that, is manufactured by someone in the lane. Nutty One landing a wall blast, concussive flows landing on, Storm the Bleach. Maybe you get a good slow as Turtle is going to go in. Maybe the play is that the side of LCE Noir overextends. Your mom's OP is in trouble, going to be knocked up, going to be taken out. First blood for Nutty One, and that works out well for Primal Instinct Purple.
Yeah, I think that's the only play. We talked about miracles, but that was just a very, very bad play out of LC. And now Obongo might just be able to take Karuku down, but he does not. So, I mean, yeah, your mom's OP, overextending, over-aggressing there. Turtle did not even blow... I do believe we saw the exhaust be dropped. Oh, that was Storm. Okay. Turtle did not even blow the exhaust or the flash there. So you still have a very re-gankable situation here, as Haruki is forced to flash out in mid. I do not believe that bomb kills him though. No, it does not. So Bel'Veth should have gotten the kill though. If I'm Cosmic, I'm yelling at Nutty One and being like, hey, that one should have went to me. You can have the next one, but that one definitely, I need this to get online early. As do you, but I think I'm more important in the 1 to 6 range. So I would be a little upset there, but yeah, a good job out of Bel'Veth, good job out of PIP.
Yep. Flash, like you said, talking about for Haruki, is going to stay in lane with no pots and very little mana. He's going to need a bailout from Cosmic Crabs. Otherwise, Obongo's going to just take control of that lane, going to be able to push it forward, might even be able to get some early damage onto that turret plate. So really nicely done coming in from Obongo here in the early stages to force out that TP, force out that flash. We'll see if maybe Cosmic Crabs is able to find a play there. But it looks like the response is going to be Etatonic going to try to maybe go for the red buff, maybe even try to go for a 1v1 early on. Will at the very least ward off the red buff, and we'll know Cosmic Crabs could potentially be in the area. Meanwhile, in the top side of the rift, Canis is going to be taking a little bit of damage against Bari, but is still in the area. Going to be at 1 HP, but will not go down.
Yeah, you're just accelerating your trades here, but now Etatonic does actually manage to get the steal, I do believe, and now Obongo's jumping over to take down Cosmic Crabs. And that is the worst case scenario. You just fed pretty much the hard carry of last game. Obongo had 7 kills. It was very, very much essential to the game plan of what they wanted to do in game 1.
Yeah, I mean, they did lose that first all-in against Teriyuki, but then after that, they were able to find the power, and they were able to find the damage in the mid to late game to make things happen. Didn't have the most damage in the game. That went over to your mom's OP, but I'm sure if we looked at Siege, Obongo was the one that made that happen. Obongo maybe overstaying though. Haruki does not have flash. Obongo survives, doesn't even use flash. Nerves of steel on this Tristana will get away with less than 50 HP.
Yeah, he's playing on the smallest of margins there. Knew the flash was down, so maybe was just a little excited for that. But now Jackness has to be a little afraid because Barbie can full combo him. I don't know if he has lethal just yet, but that shield is a good sign. Jackness playing very aggressive. Barbie trying to hold him off and still take these minions here, as he does have a slight CS lead and the wave is pushing in towards him for a second. But now we look at the bot lane again. We do have the Vayne, already has 38, 40 or so stacks on this Cull here, and she does have a kill already, so looking pretty good on the Vayne. We have a lot of chagrin for that champion here as far as the casters and the production are concerned, but I think that overall, if he's able to do something well here, that'll shut us up like LC did in the first game.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the top lane here, you gotta both shout out both Barbie and Drakenis for the very mild, unexciting top lane that they had in game one. Neither one of them going down till the 15-16 minute mark when things started to really escalate. So in the laning phase, both of them just trying to be able to get their team ahead with CS, trying to make sure that their lanes were stable, and they did their jobs. Ow. Holding that thought though, Itatonic and Obongo maybe looking to go for a play against Haruki, who has very little mana. Cosmic Crab's going to be there. Nice from Itatonic to deny any sort of play onto Obongo, will stun them out. No mana on Haruki now means that maybe it's an opportunity for the side of LCE Noir to potentially take down Cosmic Crabs once again. Oh no, Cosmic Crabs will die, but it's going to potentially be a 1-for-1. Your mom's OP. Oh no! Nutty One will take down your mom's OP, but your mom's OP will take down Turtle. Nutty One is now stunned. Nutty One will flash. Storm the Bleach looking to maybe pick up the kill. Can he get the chains out? No, they cannot. So it'll end up being a 2-for-1 play in favor of LC Noir across the Rift.
Just really good plays overall. Itaconic's doing exactly what he did the first game, but a little bit sooner here, as he's able to help convert these 2 kills. More so just the one. I think your mom's OP kind of outplayed Turtle and Nutty One there in the bot side, but he was able to blow the flash off of Nutty One, and that can definitely bode well for them here in a minute when he's able to regank at 6, which is such a key power point for Rel.
Speaking of 6, Cosmic Crab, level 5, 0, 2, and 1, even now behind in CS as well. Panda, not what we wanted to see. Yes, they were able to give that first blood over to Nutty One, but the fact that your Belveth is just on a recurve bow and a couple of swords and is behind in CS is definitely going to be a difficult scenario to be in. We'll be able to pick up that Shelly though, so maybe we'll be able to get some gold back if they're able to use it super effectively here.
Yeah, just want to remind everyone what Belveth does when she gets those Rift Heralds and that Baron. She gets this empowered form, the purest of her empowered form, and she takes minions whenever she pushes a lane and turns them into her own minions. So we will have to see if she decides to lane up with one of her buddies here and try to force something down with the Rift Herald plus the passive that she gets on that form. But it will have to be pretty soon, as that form does have about a 3-minute timer, I do believe, 180 seconds. So it does look like she is making her way towards bot, which could be a huge injection of gold that they need here at this stage of the game.
See, they are able to make that happen, and I think for Cosmic Crab's sake, you need it to be super effective. At least 2-3 turret plates. I think 3 turret plates is the minimum that you want to get with that. If you're able to get a tower down, I mean, that's obviously the best case scenario, but we'll have to see if Nutty One and Turtle can maybe make that play happen. No flash, no ghost on the Vayne, no flash, no exhaust on the Braum comparatively. Her mom's OP with their flash and teleport back up. Hold that thought though, it could potentially be a mid lane play. Haruki's going to be low, Cosmic Crab's going to be in the area, and instead going to be Cosmic Crab's just posturing a little bit and then going back to the top side of the Rift.
He's already wasted about a minute and a half off of this empowered form. I'm going to want to see him push at least in towards this mid, but Haruki is constantly finding these little slight aggressives towards Bongo, but that is a huge ulti out of Itatonic. He does force the flash out of the Azir, and that's going to be all she wrote for that engagement, but it now is going to probably call Cosmic over as both the mid laner and the jungler reset for LC.
Yeah, I gotta question the teleport coming in from Haruki. They didn't have any sort of jungle pressure from Cosmic Crabs, and instead of teleporting to the turret, they decided to teleport to the mid lane, which opened up that opportunity for a Bongo to go for that damage, and then for Itatonic to go from the Raptors and go straight towards Haruki and get that Magnet Storm, force out the flash from your Azir, and now that's no summoner spells for the next 3 minutes or so. 11 minutes into the game, that could potentially be a difference maker if it means that Obongo's able to pick up a kill. There's an opportunity, though, to take a look at the gold. Slight gold advantage for 91,200 comparatively to your mom's OP. A slight gold advantage as well for Cosmic Crabs with that extra, or with the gold from the Rift Herald. But other than that, fairly even in terms of gold, fairly even in terms of the objectives, as both teams able to get neutral objectives to start things off.
Yeah, this might just be Barbie falling. For some reason, the ult ends a little early there, so nothing will come out of it, but that was a little curious on my end.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the play was there. Maybe it was Dracanis trying to go for the opportunity for a play in terms of the unstoppable force, maybe try to deny that. We got to play in the bottom lane. Cosmic Crabs is going to try to go up against your mom's OP. Your mom's OP is going to be able to get away from the glacial fissure, going to be able to get him in a tower, but is going to be exhausted. Will go down. Turtle is going to be in trouble though. Haruki is going to be in trouble. Who will die? It doesn't look like anyone has died yet on the side of Primal Instinct Purple, and that is the play that Primal Instinct Purple and Cosmic Crabs need. They're going to be able to get that Rift Herald down in the bottom lane. Itatonic is there though. Obongo is there. They are looking to try to make something happen. Cosmic Crabs potentially be the target. Cosmic Crabs is in trouble. Teleport is going to be coming in here from your mom's OP. Itatonic is low. Itatonic is 1 HP. Survives. Oh my god. I can't believe it. Itatonic survives with 1 HP. The tower doesn't go down. Cosmic Crabs and Nutty One fall.
What a good counter punch out of LC, and that sets him perfectly up for the next Drake as well, coming up here in about 10 seconds. That is such a gut-wrenching situation for PIP when they're doing everything they think they should do correctly, and then it all just falls to the wayside with a good rotate out of LC, and now they don't even have that much pressure on this bot side at all. You did get a kill on your Belveth. She does finish her first item. You have the Vayne that decided to go static shift here. I'm not sure how I feel about that overall, but we'll have to see as the game progresses, and it will be an Infernal. So I believe that was what you picked this time around. I can't recall directly, but
no,
oh, you went with the mountain. Oh no! So by default, I'm right again. We'll just.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I need to speak to the manager here. You come in to our show and pick both dragons by default correctly. Unbelievable. But your mom's OP is gonna die in response. Taking out my anger on this Ezreal. At least getting something out of it. Cosmic Crabs though could potentially be in trouble. Oh my god! It gets executed, and now Obongo's going to teleport in. Turtle is gonna be the sacrificial Braum. Should go down here to make it a 1-for-1. Dracanis though is very low. 1 HP will fall. Storm the Bleach is also going to be maybe in trouble. Nutty One going to try to pick up that kill. Does get it. What the heck is this game? It ends up being a positive play. Primal Instinct Purple.
Yeah, everything happening all over the Rift. I mean, Barbie does win out on the 1v1, but it's immediately traded back on the bot side. But ultimately, I believe it was a 3-for-2 for the side of PIP after having picked up your mom's OP on the front end of the fight. And everyone is rotating and doing what they're supposed to, but this is exactly how I like to watch League of Legends. I want it to be skirmishing. I want it to be brawling. I want it to be blow for blow heavyweight fight. And both these teams are out here making it so. But I do have to point out that LC does have 2 Drakes. It is an Infernal Soul. They are on the road to picking up that same soul, or excuse me, another soul to kind of take over this game and help with this 1-3-1 split push that they want to manufacture.
We'll see if they are able to do it. Obongo going to rocket jump in as both mid laners going to translate themselves over to the bottom lane. Meanwhile, Rift Herald's going to get started by the side of LCE Noir, but they aren't able to stay there. And this time, it looks like it is going to go towards the side of Primal Instinct Purple. Are they going to be able to get it? Enatonic's going to go down. I don't know who got the Rift Herald. Turtle's going to be the one that picks it up. Nutty One's going to be on a killing spree. Primal Instinct Purple will take 2 more for their efforts.
Nutty One up to 5 kills. Krabs actually steals the blue there on the back end of that as well. So Rift Herald's probably going to be dropped here. A lot of pressure in this mid lane. Turtle will be the one to drop it. But yes, I have to agree with you. This is just turning into an absolute fiasco for LC. They still have a couple of things to the good for them. But right now, it's not exactly what they want to see moving into this mid game here in about 16 minutes in the game.
The only saving grace for them right now is going to be Obongo, I think, on this Tristana. Could still potentially 100-0 anybody on the Rift if they're able to find the play, if they're able to find the right angle into it. But the scary situation is Nutty One 5-1-2 on this Vayne is going to be putting out some damage here as we move later into this fight. But it is going to be Nutty One potentially going to be in trouble, going to get rooted, going to be in trouble, going to be taken down. Just as we were talking about Nutty One being a problem, it's now your mom's OP that gets a shutdown and a double kill.
Well, all the lead that Vayne had on Ezreal, everything that they wanted to do, everything that they were trying to do, kind of just pandered out there as your mom's OP turns up the double kill. We see that Vayne gets a little bit too big for her britches and actually eats the exhaust and is forced to just die. You don't really have much movement outside of your roll, and when you're exhausted, it shortens the roll, I do believe, or at least shortens the momentum through it, and you just don't have enough to push through. And now we have 45 seconds on the drag, and it should be a reset and push back towards that. Everyone is up for both sides, so unless someone dies top lane here, it should be a 5v5 if they walk down.
Now, we got to talk about the Rift Herald in the room, and that is the fact that despite giving both Rift Heralds over to Primal Instinct Purple, LCE Noir once again gets first turret in the mid lane and in the bottom lane here, Panda, which means that they are going to have a little bit more rich control moving into this dragon fight. 10 seconds remaining until it is spawned, and we'll get to see if Enatonic is able to find another one of those smite steals and get them into that dragon soul point, because this time it's PIP with rift control, with pit control.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they are indeed going to be able to fight this. It does look like your mom's OP and Dracunas are going to be able to make it to the fight. They're not necessarily burning this Drake down as fast as they had hoped. Enatonic looking for a posturing play, does actually flash forward.
Storm! Oh my god, the Magnet Storm is great. Dracunas is going to go down though. Is it going to be enough? Contra Crowd's going to take down Enatonic and we'll get the reset. Your mom's OP is going to run away, and the dragon this time is going to go towards Primal Instinct Purple.
What a play. What a answer back. As soon as he sees that flash forward, Barbie just ult on top of it. You guys are not going to fight us the way you want to fight us. We'll fight you the way we want to fight you. And that just allows Nutty One to open up. I believe he got one of the kills there as well. So between him and Krabs, they are doing pretty well in this backline situation. And then both Turtle and Barbie are doing well in the front line.
See if they are going to be able to get anything on the back end though. LCE Noir is going to pop the teleport from Dracanis, and maybe we'll try to kill against Nutty One and Turtle. Cosmic Crab's going to be able to dash away, but the Hextech ultimatum in on Nutty One will mean that they will go down. Dracanis will pick up that kill, and now Enatonic looking to maybe try to go in for another, will not be able to do it.
Yeah, a good kill on the back end there. It seems like no matter what, PIP wants to give LC something for their troubles, but it looks like they will now have the posture around Baron here in 15 seconds on the Vayne. I don't expect LCE to do it, especially with Obongo in the bot lane, but he does have TP if they wanted to try something. Your mom's OP up here helping Dracanis with the Barbie problem that has developed, which Barbie has a shutdown right now. They're going to have a long chip away on this, man.
Oh, Magnetstorm's gonna get popped, but Barbie's gonna try to get out of that one. We'll be able to avoid the crash down. Dracanis is gonna be low, but will survive. Etatonic will take it. We'll take the turret hits. We'll make it a shutdown against Barbie. Meanwhile, in the bottom side of the rift, Obongo will be shut down themselves. Cosmic Crabs and Haruki will be able to find the angle onto the Tristana to make it a 1-for-1.
Yeah, just questionable decision on why you're so pushed up if you guys wanted to go for the 4-man top dive there. You can definitely play much safer. And I think Obongo just relying on that dash or excuse me, that jump and thinking he's safe as possible. But now it looks like PIP is just going to burn this Baron. They are spotted out, but I don't know if that's enough to dissuade them from going here. TP comes in for Barbie as well, and there's TPs into the mid lane. This might just be gone.
Oh, and it's going to be Baron for Primal Instinct Purple. They're going to get it. And are they going to be able to get out of this one? Cosmic Crab should be able to dash away. Barbie might be the target here of a little bit of damage. The crash jump does not land. Barbie's going to try to be able to escape. Turtle's going to land the Glacial Fissure. Dracanis is going to go in. We'll get that ultimatum onto the Malphite, who's now at 1 HP. Does not have the unstoppable force yet, but is still alive. Does he get out of it? He does. And now Cosmic Crab is going to be able to go in. Mag is going to get dropped by Etatonic. 91 going to drop the final hour. Etatonic will try to survive here. The exhaust on to Dracanis will not able to make it happen, but they will end up going down. It makes it a 1-for-1 so far. 91 will take down Dracanis. Etatonic is going to be extremely low. 91 using that extra movement speed to maybe take down your mom's OP will not be able to finish the job. It ends up being a 1-for-1. Baron going over to Primal Instinct Purple.
I mean, you hate that you lost Baron there for the side of LC, but you made them waste so much time on this Baron already. Over a minute already burned on the Baron, and now Krabs is just poking around, gonna steal away this blue, but he will probably have to reset here still. And I think ultimately that's a win in LC's book. They weren't really able to contest the Baron, but burning that much time off of it and getting what they got in the 1v1 trade, not allowing Barbie to be one of these split pushing tools or assets for PIP is going to be a good look.
So far, I mean, it is still going to be a turret advantage for the side of LCE Noir. Primal Instinct Purple still having to take care of that tier 1 tower in the top lane. The advantage that they do have is that they did get some damage into that mid tier 2 tower against LC Noir, so maybe going to be able to find something there. Dragon spawning in about 50 seconds. An opportunity potentially for LC Noir to get on Soul Point, or potentially an opportunity for PIP to make it an even Dragon game. But for now, I mean, like you were talking about, all that this Baron has done for PIP is kind of reset the rift a little bit and get the lanes back into their control, but nothing really aggressively going to come through. Meanwhile, Haruki could potentially be in trouble. Dracanis is going to get Haruki down to 1 HP. The shuffle did not land the way that they wanted to, and they will be forced back.
Yeah, that's going to be a good job out of Dracanis. He actually buffered the Hextech ultimatum into the shuffle, so it did not hit him at all. He dodged it completely, and that just shows like how good your mechanics are. And Obongo's here, ready to maybe fight and kill Haruki, but I don't think they're actually going to be able to do that. They might be able to take this tower on the back end, though. Does not look like it. Obongo might fall.
Oh my god, very low. It might actually die here. Dragon is going to get taken by the side of Primal Instinct Purple, and now Obongo is going to potentially be in trouble, and he will go down. Barbie finds the unstoppable force, and that will be another kill for the Primal Instinct Purple top laner. Dracanis is going to maybe try to take this kill against Haruki, but will he be able to get it in time? The answer is no. 2 kills for the side of Primal Instinct Purple. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, a double stun on 91 and Turtle. 91's going to get exhausted. Can he get out of this with the final hour? Ghost is used. He's low, and he will run away with his life. Your mom's OP will take down Turtle. Will go on a rampage. Meanwhile, Cosmic Crab's going to deal a ton of damage to that inner or tier 2 tower in the bottom lane, and will escape with their lives.
Yeah, unfortunate that they were not able to find the vein. So ultimately, it's just a 2-for-1 trade across the rift, and you start to see this gold advantage start to bloom for PIP, and that could be a big problem, seeing as most of this gold is laid across the vein in the Belveth, if I'm not mistaken. But even then, yes, we see over 10k for both of these players. Even then, I do want to say Azir and Malphite are no slouches either. Almost 10k gold for both of them themselves, and they're doing a lot of damage, or in the case of Malphite, doing a lot of damage and staying alive, as we saw how hard it was for LCE to take him down just after that Baron take. It took almost multiple iterations of full stack spells and abilities to come through, as well as a lot of auto attacks out of the Tristana.
And I mean, Haruki is now going to deal damage with that Rabadon's Death Cap, with that Leandre's. You're going to be in trouble if you end up being in their crosshairs. Just look at Obongo trying to be super aggressive against Haruki, unable to do that, unable to take them down quickly enough. And that's going to mean, you know, Haruki was able to be the one that facilitated that kill for Barbie against the Tristana. A minute remaining until the Baron spawns. Teleports are available for both Haruki and Barbie on the side of Primal Instinct Purple. Dracanis, Obongo, and your mom's OP all have teleport as well. So we could be seeing a very impactful and maybe game deciding 5v5 at the Baron pit here in about 45 seconds.
Yeah, I'm gonna 100% lean towards PIP in this fight. They just have so much more items, so much more tools at the ready right now. However, if we are able to see some sort of coordinated dive onto one of the squishier members of PIP, this could definitely be a one fight, seeing as you do not have a lot of damage outside of your 3 carries. I said before that Malphite does a decent chunk, but it's not enough to warrant, you know, dying to. He will more or less whittle you down than he will burst you down. And Haruki seems like the primest target to absolutely pop early, especially if we get the Hextech ultimatum onto him. We do have these ultimates coming back up as well for the Ezreal, and for the Karma on hers is on a very low cooldown as well, so that doesn't really track. But it does look like they want to posture here around the Baron, and we already see Edaconic here in the mid lane.
Yep, Edaconic is going to find it, going to be able to get a little bit of river control for the side of LCE Noir. First back for Barbie on the Malphite will go back down to the bottom lane, and then Dracanis will do the same. 90 seconds remaining, though, until the dragon spawns as well. So if there is an opportunity potentially for one of these teams to go for a play, it would be the it could potentially be one of them goes for Baron, one of them goes for Dragon, although not necessarily sure if that's going to be the best move, but it could potentially happen. Also, you know, as PVS said just so eloquently put, Barbie has 600 armor on this Malphite. Pardon me, 448 armor on this Malphite, 82% reduced damage, and very little armor shredding coming in from any member of the LCE Noir squad. So Barbie is definitely one tanky boy here in this game.
Yeah, you see Tristana already start to itemize for something to help take him down. It is going to be a little bit longer than I think they want for that to get online, unless we just see both these teams kind of forfeit out until this Drake comes up. It looks like Haruki wants this 1v1, but Bongo's just gonna leave.
I'm going to be able to get out using that rocket jump, but it's going to be down to less than half HP. Not seeing any lifesteal in the build, so it could be in a troublesome situation. Turtle, though, looking to be able to find something here against Storm. The Bleach going to be able to land the concussive blows, going to be able to land the glacial fissure. Edaconic, though, is going to try to get some damage in on a 91. 91 is extremely low. Haruki is low, and LCE Noir is going to win this fight. Your mom's OP will be able to get a double kill against Turtle, and now Cosmic Crabs is going to try to find a way out of this one. Barbie was able to take the kill against Dracanis. Cosmic Crabs will escape. So it ends up being a 3-for-3 across the rift. But your mom's OP, the winner of this fight, I think, for LCE Noir.
That is troublesome. If you are the side of PIP, I don't think I saw that coming at all. I mean, we talked about how weak this front line is without the Malphite there. He is obviously the biggest part of what they want to do with his ultimate coming up and fighting, you know, across the 5v5. But with him being gone, he does pick up the solo kill, but they're going to lose Dragon. They're going to lose priority on this Baron. it looks like, but now we see a couple of pings come across. Edatonic wants to move that way. He is going to pick up this red buff alongside your mom's OP. And it looks like they're just going to transition up to this top side with Draknus having this TP available.
Barbie also has the TP, going to go straight back to the bottom side of the rift, but we now know, Barbie has the advantage. Dracanis having or used flash in that last fight, in that 1v1 against Dracanis and Barbie, but Barbie wins it out handedly. Doesn't even have to use the flash, doesn't have to use the TP, and now has a 2-level advantage. Dracanis doesn't even have that third upgrade of that ultimate, so definitely could be a difference maker here as we move into a potential Baron fight. Does look like this strut play has now started in the Baron pit with Primal Instinct Purple looking to go for it. Dracanis looking to be able to stop potentially. Barbie going in with that TP as Edatonics can be able to get the Magnet Storm into Turtle. Turtle's extremely low. Turtle's going to flash into the Baron pit and will go down. Cosmic Crowds is going to be extremely low themselves, going to be able to get away. Night Side's and shuffle from Aereo, going to be able to get the shutdown onto the Ezreal. Barb is going to take down Dracanis. No one gets the Baron. Double kill for Obongo. And it's once again an even play for both of these teams.
Obongo showing up, being the hero that his team needs him to be. He did finish that Lord Doms before the fight actually came through. So I want to say that Barbie's impact here in this 1v1 is probably more than what he would get across the team fight, barring a huge 3 to 4 man ulti out of him. But what a play out of Edatonic and Obongo here, that they're just they're just comparing each other and playing each other at the highest rates here and doing what they need to do to keep their team afloat.
Yeah, I mean, you got to shout out Barbie for being able to win the 1v1 once again against Dracanis, but Dracanis is kind of just doing what they need to do to make sure that Barbie is not in those 4v4s. And without Barbie in the fight, it's very easy for Obongo and your mom's OP to be able to find those plays. Anathema's Chains, as PBS just alluded to, now unlocked though for both Edatonic and for Barbie. We'll get to see who's going to be able to be more effective with their own, but man, I mean, I don't know if we're going to be able to find that play. This time, however, Barbie is going to be in the area, so I am very concerned here for LCE Noir. I don't know if they win the 5v5 if Barbie is there. I don't think that they win, and so we'll have to see if they're able to find that right angle to make something happen.
It does look like we're going to see Haruki fight towards Dracanis now. He might actually commit more than he wants to, though. Dracanis does not have a flash, neither does Haruki, though, so I doubt this actually confirms a kill.
I'm going to be able to get out of that one. Teleport is ready for Haruki and can get into that fight a lot quicker than Dracanis does, because Dracanis does have to back first. And so the TP is going to come in from the side of Haruki. The Baron will get taken for the side of PIP, but Dracanis is going to teleport to the bottom side of the rift and will take down that inner tower in exchange. Does that mean that LCE Noir gets another inner tower in the mid lane? It does look like they will be able to get it in time. They do, but are they going to be able to escape? Cosmic Crab's going to maybe try to dash in. Will they get one more dash? Finish the job. Haruki does not have class, does not get it in, but here comes Barbie. Big play coming in from Barbie on that unstoppable force. Edatonic with a great Magnet Storm in response. That is a huge play coming in from the jungler, from Edatonic, to be able to keep LCE Noir alive. No one goes down. They get the inner tower.
Yeah, that is a good leave there. Absence of play, as some might put it. But I mean, for LC, that is exactly what you wanted. Nobody died. Nobody got too pressured here. They are going to have this mid turret probably fall within this next wave or two, and there's not much they can do in response. Camille's backing now, so maybe they can look for something. As Barbie does not have TP, he will not be able to fight this. It will be a 5v4, and if Camille is able to get on one of these squishies in the backline, it could be a fight win for LC, but it looks like they're just going to retreat on the side of PIP, running back, looking towards this Drake here with 20 seconds left on it, and if they do, that'll be soul point for both teams.
Inhib is going to go towards the side of Primal Instinct Purple. We're seeing pings from Dracanis onto the top side of the Rift to maybe get that inhibitor tower down. If they can do that, that would alleviate some of the pressure, but it doesn't look like they are going to contest this Infernal Drake. It will be Infernal Soul Point for both Primal Instinct Purple and LCE Noir. At the 40-minute mark, one of these teams is going to get Infernal Soul.
Yeah, and I kind of think barring a major team fight beforehand, that will decide, because both teams are going to have to show up. They're going to have to fight for that. And as long as the base doesn't completely get cracked and frayed on the side of LC right now, then it's going to be decided right then.
And it's going to not go or not take out that back here. Yuki will take out the minion wave and will deny any further aggression there. I'm not sure that a 2-7 Camille can really contest this. Does have the hole breaker though, so as long as they're by themselves, they're able to find the extra advantage that provides. But I'm not sure that you have enough oomph to be able to take down a level 18 Azir with a stopwatch. So going to be a difficult one for Dracanis to be able to find a play, and we'll just walk out of that one. Baron spawning in 3 minutes now. Baron is now gone once again for the side of Primal Instinct Purple. LCE Noir can have an opportunity to potentially reset these lanes and get themselves back in control before it spawns.
I want to point something out here too. We do see a Flame Horizon come through in the jungle for the side of the Belveth, up about 115 CS on the Rel, and we almost see the same thing in reverse happening between the Tristana and the Azir here. But one thing to point out is all members of the top side of PIP are level 18. You only have level 18 on the Tristana for the side of LC, and that can make a big difference when it comes to just how you're utilizing your spells, when your ulti comes up, when your spells come back up, the full rotation, the full damage on your spells. Rel does not necessarily need all the farm, but those extra levels can definitely help.
Dennis level 17, Barbie been level 18 for a minute and is practically full build at this point as well. Not going to be able to get too much more out of this one, but Dracanis now feeling kind of confident. Could potentially find the play against Barbie to make it a 1-for-1 in their favor. Barbie is going to be very low and will be able to use the Unstoppable Force to be able to get away, but will they be able to survive? Cosmic Crabs will be in the area to be able to get them out, so they will be able to get out of that one, but that is actually good news for the side of LCE Noir. They now know that they have the opportunity to potentially go for a 1v1 win, but now it's actually going to be a fight up against Harayuki, and Dracanis is going to go in with the Hextech Ultimatum on the nutty one. Dracanis is going to be low, going to be able to use the redemption. Nice redemption coming in from Storm the Bleach, but Barbie teleports in themselves. Oh no! Barbie's going to be able to get the kill on Dracanis, and now it's a double for the side of Primal Instinct Purple. And it looks like we're going to get a game 3 here, Panda. Primal Instinct Purple find the win.
The Vayne pops off, does get Hextech Ultimatum, but puts out so much damage onto Dracanis that he does actually make him fall, flash away, and then was able to follow up on the backside was Barbie. That's just a good win out of PIP, and I mean, they had 3 Infernals, they had a lot of damage, they played to their comp, and unfortunately for LCE, they were not able to replicate what they did in game 1, so we will be going to that game 3.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening this series. The composition that I thought was going to win the game ends up losing, and Cosmic Crabs coming back with that Belveth. I have to say it. I don't even think the Belveth was really the playmaker here. It was Nutty One on this Vayne. 9, 5, and 7. You know, Harayuki surviving for so long. Only 1 death on this Azir. 3, 1, 11, 33,000 damage on the Azir. But your mom's OP putting in a ton of damage on that Ezreal. 35k coming in from this Ezreal. Just not enough oomph to be able to finish the job and take this 2-0 series. And now Primal Instinct Purple with the opportunity to go for the reverse sweep and take this series away from LCE Noir.
Yeah, and I gotta say, while I may have some loud noises around me, I apologize for that. Ezreal's doing everything he can as far as the damage charts, and as far as what he can do in lane, I think that we might need to see a refocus out of Edaconic towards this bot side, towards a little bit more early game. Or we might just need to see them play a little more stagnant in the first couple of minutes, seeing as Cosmic was, or yes, Cosmic was able to come down there a couple of times and cause a disruption. Even the mid play where Ezreal was able to turn that, he was still behind at that point. So we'll have to see if they are able to tighten and righten up the ship and see which side that LCE picks here for this next game.
Well, we will see momentarily. We're going to take a quick break to get that all situated. And when we return, the finale of this qualifier series will commence. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to the Aegis Marauders League. We've got ourselves a banger series coming to a close here with a game 3 between LCE Noir and Primal Instinct Purple. Going to be another very exciting game. The first two have been bangers, and this third one is sure to not disappoint. LCE Noir going to look to get themselves a game 3 win here. They're going to continue to ban out what they banned out in games 1 and 2 with that Thresh, with that Nico. Primal Instinct gonna still take away that Kindred, gonna take away that Poppy, and maybe gonna take away that Ezreal, which kind of has been running the show for LCE Noir.
They actually shift off, or they're posturing to shift off and take away the Rel as well. It looks like they really want to target Edaconic, and well, they'll give up the Rel, never mind. But I am really interested in why these teams are so steadfast on their side. I mean, I know Pip had their choice for the first couple of times as Ezreal and Belveth, or Ezreal's locked in and Belveth is hovered. So I guess they both see the value of red and blue side respectively and what they want to do in these drafts.
We'll see what the next opportunity here is for Primal Instinct. Will they decide to go for the Belveth once again? It is hovered here, Panda, and they will R1 the Belveth. Now, we were not convinced the Belveth R1 in the first game. I don't know if it necessarily was the difference maker here in game 2, but Cosmic Crabs is going to go for it once again here, Panda, with the Talia being the pick R2.
So this is something that happens more often in where crazy people like to stay, you know. But Belveth can be flex support, which means that they're still very flexible as far as this draft is concerned, at least in my mind. I like to think, you know, fingers crossed, we get some kooky stuff going. But it looks like LC is just going to ride back to their tried and true. Looks like a Rel lock-in, and I'm going to guess if you're going to play this style again that you just picked the Tristana, and it sure enough is going to be Tristana on B3 here. I don't know if maybe they just thought, okay, we kind of muffed up game 2 and we're going to go right back at it, same game. But PIP looks like they're ready for that same exact repeat as they hover the Vayne.
Yeah, now if the Vayne does get locked in here, I wonder if LCE Noir decides to go for the ban on the Malphite. I mean, so much armor, not really any way of taking it off, and unless you go for those Lord Dominics, but it took a long time for a Bongo to get it. I don't necessarily normally see Lord Dominics go in for your mom's OP. They've got other things they've got to buy. So I'm curious to see if they do decide to take it, or if they take it away this game. In the last 2, they decide to take away the Jax and the Renekton, and they will continue on with that Tread, Panda. They're going to go with the Jax as their first ban. The Nautilus is going to be the first for Primal Instinct, along with potentially that Karma. Now, I don't know if Storm the Bleach's Karma was the most impactful, and it does look like Primal Instinct not wanting to do that. They will instead ban away the Rumble.
Yeah, I don't think Karma was the end-all be-all, as we do see the Malphite actually get banned as well. But I do want to posture something that we do have a new top laner coming in. Jolt is taking the place of Dracanis, so we might see a shakeup here in general. It will be Renekton, at least hovered here for the top side for Barbie, who has played tanks these first 2 games. I would like to see him get to play something with a little bit more skill expression. Not to say that Malphite wasn't, you know, skillful. He did play very well. It's just Renekton's a little bit more onus for you, and it is locked in. So again, I just want to posture. Belveth could go support, Talia could go jungle here. And Talia Renekton is a wonderful, wonderful combination if you're looking at any sort of stage of the top lane here. I doubt that happens, honestly, though. So we will have to see what the support pick is. It will look like that Storm to Bleach is going to go back to the Braum. He had a lot of success on it game 1. We saw it have a lot of success game 2, although it was on the side of PIP. That time around is going to get locked here. So what do you think they should put in response to that as we look for this top lane?
Well, I mean, when you're looking as the Renekton, you want to try to find plays, or you want to try to find, ways to be able to get that Renekton ahead, because the later that the game goes on, the less impactful that Renekton becomes. I do, if you do decide to go for the Bel'Veth into a different lane, Talia Renekton, like we're talking about, is pretty good because you are able to guarantee that you get that extra stun from that seismic shove. But Darius is going to be the response here. You're going to have the opportunity to potentially just out damage the Renekton, right? Nox and Guillotine at level 6, if you're able to get the full stacks, which you're going to have an easier time doing up against a melee like the Renekton. Opportunity for that to be there, but I don't think we're going to be seeing any sort of spicy Talia jungle. I think we're going to see the Talia in the mid lane with Turtle going back to that Taric. Now, Panda, I'll iterate this to you. Turtle has talked about how he does like the Taric in a lot of scenarios, and I'm excited to get to see him play here today.
Yeah, I think it fits pretty decently into the comp. It does allow you to engage with that extra layer of protection, and it also allows you to disengage if you and the Vayne are getting jumped on, or if you see that you're in a bad spot. However, I think that this is going to be more useful for the offensive unit, as you have Bel'Veth, you have Renekton, you have Vayne who wants to pop that ultimate and then dash in, or roll in for that matter. And then you have the Talia that kind of stops them from doing anything on that move forward arc. We can't have Rel jump in. We can't have Tristana jump in. Ezreal's going to have a hard time getting out. Darius is more run at you, so that's not going to be as significant for him. But even the Braum hop, like if you play that layered ground, or I can't remember the name for sure there, but that definitely works in your advantage for most of LCE.
We'll have to see what they do decide, or how they do decide to execute this game, as we do get ourselves ready to jump into the spectator delay. The stakes of this game are extremely high for both of these teams. Winning this game gets you halfway through the qualifiers and gives yourself one step closer in getting the win, or getting into the playoffs. You have to win 2 out of the 3 qualifier matches in order to make that happen. So, this would definitely propel whoever wins this game into a good chance of making the playoffs here, Panda. And I really have to look at, for me, I think we've got to see Cosmic Crabs find this game. This has got to be their game once again on the Bel'Veth. I mean, I think they did okay in game 2, but I really wanted to see them kind of pop off, get those early kills, get those early advantages in game 2. They didn't necessarily get to do that, and they got bailed out by the massive damage that the mid-top lane, or the mid-bot lane duo was able to put in, and the power that Barbie had on that Malphite. So we'll have to see who's going to be able to win this game. We're going to have to see who's going to be able to take us into the take this win and win out this series. We'll have to see how that ends up being the case. But with that being said, Panda, you once again were correct with the Dragon Soul and Rift in game 2. I am going to go for the salty run back. Hextech Chemtech here for game 3.
I will take Ocean and Cloud again. I think those are a very strong pairing. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we do see a Cloud Rift. That'll be really, really fun to watch with both of these comps.
Okay, well, we'll get to see that, hopefully. I'm going to go with Ocean Soul, which is going to leave you with Infernal. We're going to take a quick break, folks. When we return, the finale of this qualifier matchup will commence between LCE Noir and Primal Instinct Masters Purple. We'll be right back.
Tell me, where do I go? Tell me, where do I take us? Your heart is starting to slow. May the water be safe. As I dive in, blood stains wash underneath the waves. I'll be reaching out to kiss spot to lead us through the shadows. Can I fight the way before me? It's coursing through my soul, a road to guide us through the sorrow. Can I calm this storm inside me? I feel it in my bones, a spot to lead us through the shadows. Can I fight the way before me? It's coursing through my soul, a road to guide us through the sorrow. Can I calm this storm inside me? This storm inside me. To the edge of death and back again. We've seen the walls come down, but here we all still stand. We are afraid if they let us fight around. They try to extinguish us. We are timeless in death. Hear the awakened world. Scream glory and scream courage. For here we stand in the path of victory. We made it through fires, to redemption on the other side. We're standing in the burning bright. Alright, 'cause we are timeless. Our future knows not your pain. Our past knows only victory. So we still remain. To our last free breath and back again. We've seen our scars burn red and seen them turn to flame. We are the fire that guides our destiny. Yeah, the torch of finish us. We fight until the last. Hear the awakened world. Scream glory and scream courage.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Aegis Marauders League, the third and final game of this qualifier matchup here between LCE Noir over on the blue side and Primal Masters Purple over on the red has indeed commenced. And we've got ourselves a really fun game, Panda. And just to say what we got ourselves here, a couple of seconds. Very glad to have you here. Thank you for filling in for Septi this week. What are you casting any other series? Are you playing in any other tournaments? What's your League of Legends footprint like here this season?
I'm playing in Draft League for Risen. We play on Friday nights. We have upcoming game this Friday. I don't know if it's gonna be streamed or not, but and then I cast for Risen. I cast Rampage, and that is every other Saturday I will be on, barring me taking somebody else's shift like today. But yeah, that's about where I stand right now. I do a little bit of freelance coaching, and I coach for a university as well, but unfortunately we do not have a league team. So
Fair enough. Well, glad to have you here. Thank you again, like I said, for filling in for Septi. Had a little bit of some flight issues today, so hopefully we'll be able to get home safe, and all of that stuff will be ready for next week. But with that being said, we are ready to begin this third game now. Edatonic going to be once again on that rel, and for the first time in this series, we're going to get some warding on the other side of the rift, with that red buff being warded from the side of Primal Instinct, and a couple of wards of the Raptors on the top side of the rift here for LCE Noir.
Yeah, I like the Darius pick here. I think that it definitely brings a different element to what we have seen so far. Not exactly the same as Olaf and Emil, a little bit more Easter family than both of those. But I do think that what we've seen out of Barbie, this is going to be an interesting top lane. As Darius has a lot of the push, already has almost a 10 PS advantage. I know this wave is going to push into Barbie, so he should recoup a lot of that, but it's a good place to start.
Yep, I'm gonna be able to get that early roaming, able to maybe see if there was anything going on. Going to just kind of be a little bit aggressive. Gonna maybe check the Raptors and all of that fun stuff. But early back coming in from Cosmic Crabs will be over on the top side of the Rift here fairly soon. Go for that red buff, those Raptors, and maybe go for a play against Jolts. As I think for the first time in this series, Panda, I think the top side of the Rift is where we need to look at. Both of these top laners looking to go for the throat here in the early stages of the game. You've got Ignite coming in from Barbie. You got the Flash Ghost coming in from Jolts. I'm curious to see who's going to get the advantage here.
Yeah, early enough, I think it will be Jolts all the way up until maybe that level 5 when this gets a bit more dastardly for him. But as soon as that level 6 hits, I think it's anyone's game, especially with the Ignite being on Barbie. If you are able to lay that Ignite down at the proper time, stop him from pushing onto you, and then get your ultimate off, you get so much bonus health from the ultimate, and that Fury of Sands does actually do a bit of damage, enough so that it can take Jolts down if you land your combos correctly.
A little bit of roaming as well coming in from Bongo. Just the power of the Tristana against the Taliyah. But hold that thought. Jolt is going to be in trouble here. The Goat's going to get popped. Nice drag in. First blood for Jolt against Barbie, but it is a 1-for-1.
I was not wrong in what I said. The Ignite does come down, which is the only reason I think the trade was so simultaneous. I don't think Jolts would have gotten out of there in any way, shape, or form, but what a good play by him to not only be stunned up under tower, but to fight the 1v2 essentially and still get the kill. First blood, might I add. So he's going to be happy with himself, even though he did burn both summoners.
Now this time though, Cosmic Crabs did get the kill, and that's going to mean that they're going to get a very early recurve bow on that back, and we'll start to ramp up. We saw how powerful, or we know how powerful a ramped up Bel'Veth can be if they're able to get ahead, and those are the things that you need to do in order to make that happen. Big difference though is going to be in the bottom side of the Rift is now that Storm the Bleach is going to have a little bit more protection for your mom's OP than they did in game 2. No more Karma, and instead it's going to be that Braum going against Turtle on that Taric.
Yeah, again, this Taric is very interesting to me. I don't play a lot of Taric. I don't see a lot of Taric being played, but I know how strong he can be. And now we have Haruki getting jumped on, but he will force the flash out.
And good flash there coming in from Haruki to be able to get out. But Cosmic Crab sees blood in the water. Not gonna find the knockup onto Obongo, who's at 1 HP this entire series, Panda. Obongo has been living on the razor's edge, and he does not get punished for it again.
What a misplay. I know what Cosmic wanted to do there. I know how he wanted to play that. He tried his best to read the situation at hand and was just a little bit unsuccessful. But Obongo has balls of steel. He doesn't burn the flash.
Yeah, I can't believe it either. I can't do it. Oh no! Oh my god, Jolts, nice drag back in, and that was a fully stacked Noxian Guillotine for Jolts, and he'll take the kill against Barbie.
And this is a pressure that Darius can get early. The trade was more beneficial to him because of where the wave was early in the laning phase, and now he's able to just hold it and basically make Barbie fight into him. And because you don't have any sort of recuperation from your other summoner spell, no teleport, no ghost, nothing like that to help you, succeed in this lane past fighting, he's forced to fight. And now you have another kill going over to the Darius. He has a shutdown now. He's almost double your CS at this point in the game. I'm sure that Renekton will recuperate some of this, but he controls this lane. He dictates this lane. And without Cosmic coming up top to help Barbie in this situation, he's going to continue to run the show.
And speaking of running the show, though, I also think that Obongo is doing a pretty good job against Haruki here against this Taliyah. I am very 50-50 on whether or not Tear the Goddess is good in matchups here for Taliyah, because you do get that extra mana that Haruki is so reliant on throughout the game. You need that mana, especially in the mid game, in order to go for these extended exchanges, but it does delay your mythic and it does make it difficult for you to be able to get that early damage, and we'll have to see if that ends up being a problem. Jolt's gonna be able to find the dragon on to Barbie, but the rest of the squad did not think he was gonna be able to make it happen, so that will not execute in terms of a kill.
Yeah, Barbie is living in a terrible world, nothing like the Barbie world that he wants, and it's gonna be Edaconic rather, sitting up top, trying to force him into a bad situation. I don't think this is gonna net a dive here, as they're looking more for Herald, and Cloud is unfortunately our first drag of the game, so it will not be a Cloud Soul, and I am a little sad about that. But we do see multiple moves down towards the spot lane, and now, yep, everyone grouping around the Herald top, and Jolt's is setting up for a little sneaky fight here.
Yeah, I think, that was to be expected on the bottom side of the rift, where Cosmic Crab saw that Edaconic decided to go for the play here against Barbie. Didn't work out, and meant that there was the advantage of the bottom side of the rift, and so Dragon taken with ease. Meanwhile, though, Rift Herald's going to get taken by Edaconic on this rel, and they're looking to be able to go in for the play. Edaconic does not have Magnet Storm. Barbie flashes away, and no one dies, but a couple summoner spells used in exchange.
I don't think that is the worst trade in the world. They do get out Barbie's flash. It's going to force him essentially out of the lane with the fact that Jolts does have flash up, but you did waste a lot of time. You burned flash on Edaconic, which is not terrible. He has Hex Flash, and it's kind of like unlocking a second summoner spell in that regard. So we'll have to see in the next 3 or 4 minutes how well Jolt is able to fight Barbie in this lane to see if it's actually beneficial or not.
Now, good response as well coming in from Primal Instinct. 91 and Turtle going to get a turret plate and a half down there in the bottom side against your mom's OP, not able to stop the power of the Taric there, able to get some deep warding as well. Knows that Edaconic is in the bottom side of the rift, so this could be an opportunity for a top side play, and that is exactly what's going to happen here. Jolt is going to maybe try to go for the Noxian Guillotine against Barbie. Is going to be able to get it. He's going to be able to get the drag back in, but doesn't drop it. Shut down against Jolt, and Cosmic Crabs will pick up that kill with a nice macro outplay coming in from Primal Instinct across the rift.
Yeah, that is probably worst case scenario on how you wanted that to play out. Not only did Cosmic get a shutdown, but they negated Jolts from getting another kill altogether. If they can grab the shutdown onto Cosmic, that would be great, but now you're in a 2v3 essentially with Jolts not being available.
Jolt's not going to be in the fight, and Cosmic Crabs is still trying to go in against Edaconic. They do not get the kill. They do not get the blue buff, but nobody dies. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the rift, Turtle and Nutty maybe looking to go for a play against your mom's OP with very little mana. And Nutty does have the final hour. If they do decide to make something happen here, they could go for this play with the Taric ultimate. Custom blows going to land, so they will back off, but I really have to commend Primal Instinct for the last couple of minutes here. They've been able to find some good plays across the rifts because they've had the warding correct, and they've been able to navigate some of these plays just really, really well.
And look at that, a sub 11-minute completed item for Cosmic. He is off to the races. And this is what I was talking about in game 2. If you're able to get him ahead, especially this far ahead in the game, he can take it over completely. Now, this is not a mythic, so it's not going to be like crazily ahead of maybe some of the other spots in the game, but he is so far ahead of Rel. He's so far ahead of even Darius at this point, who has just an amalgamation of items, that this is going to be detrimental if he's able to get into these lanes and shut somebody down.
Yeah, I guess I'm confused as to what the first item for Jolt is going to be. Is he going for like a Sterax here? Is he going for a Black Cleaver? I'm thinking that it's got to be a Black Cleaver, right? Like, it's the dagger that's really throwing me off.
I believe this is not Gore Drinker, but Stride Breaker. I don't know why you don't finish the Iron Spike Whip when you have the rest of these items, though. But that's Flash from Storm to Bleach there, so
hey, I mean, I think that was a panic mode there. Your mom's OP was in trouble, so using the stand behind me, and they were using the flash to be able to get the wall unbreakable, to be able to make sure the Imam's OP survives. Is a good play, but now they're overextending a little bit, and maybe an opportunity for Total to flash in and get the stun against a flashless Braum. They will be able to back away, and I think that your mom's OP is Storm of the Beach definitely playing with fire there.
Yeah, definitely a little more forward than you want them to be, especially since they don't have exactly the biggest onus in this lane in this game right now. It's not over just yet, though. Everyone in this on the side of LCE is still doing pretty well.
I'm nervous here. I'm nervous at the side of LCE and Noir. Storm of the Beach and your mom's OP are going to be, I think, in a very scary situation, and I think that Primal Instinct senses the blood in the water and are looking to maybe extend their advantage in Dragons. Gonna have that Chemtech Rift Dragon available here for either team to be able to go for, and it is a numbers advantage for the side of Primal Instinct for the moment at the Dragon Pit, but could still be a 4v4 with now Barbie coming in en route to make it a potential 5v4 situation. Chemtech Drake is now underway in earnest from the side of Primal Instinct, and they will get it. No response from LCE Noir. They will not get any towers. They will not get any other neutral objectives, and that's going to mean that Primal Instinct is going to have the Dragon advantage for the first time at the 14-minute mark in this series.
Yeah, and that means we're gonna have another Infernal Soul, and again, default wins for me. I guess I should just let you play how you want to as far as the Drake game, but that's Haruki taking out Bongo completely.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. You come in onto this stream and you pick the dragon correctly 3 times in a row. What the heck is this BS? But we got another play coming in here from the side of Primal Instinct. Your mom's OP is going to be the one that gets knocked up and is taken down. Nutty One will take one. Storm the Blades are going to get stunned under tower. No hope of escape. Cosmic Crowd's going to be on a killing spree. That's 2 for nothing, 3 for nothing across the rift for Primal Instinct Purple.
Yeah, this is when the game starts to get to the point of you're like, okay, maybe we messed up too hard here. I do like what they've been trying to do all day. They want this style. They want to play this sort of game, but I don't know if you're achieving it right now with the way that you're giving Belveth over gold. You're giving Vayne over gold. Even the aggressive play out of Bongo, like, that's unnecessary at this point. You guys just get ready for Rift Herald, because if you give that to a Belveth and she gets to be, you know, super Belveth, then that becomes even more of a problem for you later in the game. We do see the item completions coming out here for a couple of members of LCE, but it's just few and far between of when we can sing their praises, at least this game.
Obongo, oh, nice. Unraveled Earth, going to be able to get the stun onto Obongo, which will deny the play against them. What a pick for Primal Instinct's mid laner, Haruki. You know, you get so much value with that E against Tristana. Whenever they try to go in, you just drop it, and now you stun them in that play. You don't even have to land the seismic shove, and that's what we just saw there in that last exchange. They're also going to now have the opportunity to go for the Rift Herald. They pick that up with ease. Cosmic Crabs will have that power up for the next couple of minutes, and that's just looking really, really good here for Cosmic Crabs, who I wanted to see pop off in this game.
And popped off he really has. 350 gold bounty on him right now, and it's only going to go up as he looks to push in this top wave alongside the Renekton. And this is kind of what I wanted him to do that first time. You see these little minions being spawned by the passive on the Rift Herald take, and this tower is just dead. I don't know if Jolts gets out of here or if he turns it or anything, but this tower is for sure gone, and that's the Cosmic Radiance coming in. All of them are just beautifully immune, perfectly going to take down both the top laner and the jungler here and push this lead even further as they look for the second tower here on the top side.
Bongo not able to get out. That Weaver's Wall will deny any sort of teleport play as well. Another headbutt from Shelly. That is an and one for the Rift Herald, and that inner tower will go down at the 16.5-minute mark here, Panda.
Yeah, this is the biggest gold lead we've seen. Definitely this early, but I think across the games, I think we may have seen a 7,000 last game. So this is creeping up on maybe the biggest one we've seen in the series, but my goodness, Bel'Veth 2 items at 17 minutes into the game. Talia 2 items completed at 17 minutes into the game. This is just a really strong team here for PIP, and they have drafted exactly what they needed to beat LCE by the looks of it.
I think so as well. I mean, this was the expectation that that I had coming into game one. I thought that they were going to have this series wrapped with that first draft, but shout out to LCE Noir. They came in with this Tristana Ezreal that threw Primal Instinct for a loop, but game two, Primal Instinct able to figure it out. And now here in game three, I think they've got the composition downloaded. I don't know how LCE Noir is going to be able to recover from this, considering that you have so many late game threats as your opponent. The power of a late game Taric, Vayne, the power of a mid to late game Talia, the power of an overfed Bel'Veth. I just don't know how they find a way back into this one.
Yeah, and you see PIP is just doing exactly what they want to do. They're grouping, they're fighting, they're getting these turrets, and they don't really care about the opposite side. Barbie's doing his job as well, but just this pressure, this flux that they can create across the rift here, it's not enough for LCE to be completely choked out as they do try to make a move here topside, but it's very much closing them in on some sort of just ultimately Nexus break.
Yeah, 300 gold bounty, now 350 gold bounty on the turrets if they're able to land it, and Barbie's gonna go in for the 2v1, gonna flash in, going to be able to take down Jolt in a 2v1. Renekton at 19 minutes is somehow able to still find the play against your mom's OP, and Jolt does have one dash, able to get out, will not get out of the second one. Will use the Gore Drinker to be able to get a little bit of extra HP back, but will be unable to escape, but just really buying time for the rest of their team to get another tower down. That is an inner tower going down for in the mid lane for Primal Instinct. They're going to get some damage into the tower in the bottom lane, and they are continuing to make this game go in their favor.
Yeah, for all that they got in that 1-for-1 trade for LCE, they got another tower, they took your entire bot side, they got almost another tower in the bot lane, they pressured everywhere on the map, and I mean, this is pre-20 minutes, you're looking at about a 24-minute Infernal Soul on a team that's already ramping so much damage and so many items at this time. 8k gold, I'm pretty sure this is the highest it's been in the entire series. They are gelling on all cylinders. PIP, PIMP as they like to be called sometimes. They're working it out.
Yeah, I know that their name is Primal Instinct Masters Purple, but I'm not gonna give them the satisfaction of saying that because this is a family-friendly stream here. So that's why we've been saying the Primal Instinct Purple the entire game. But regardless of the way that they say their name, they're still up by almost 9,000 gold now. They've got all towers up. It's not quite a perfect game with Barbie going down, but hey, they are just doing everything that they need to do to get this game done as quickly as possible. And with Baron up, they could potentially decide to go for that one whenever. But I really think that this game could be decided at the Dragon if they're able to get it.
Definitely so. I mean, you just have so much power that comes with an Infernal Soul. The pop not only being very strong, but the damage that it gives you across the board on top of the damage that you're already boasting is so much to deal with from a team that's already behind, and it just continues to grow. It's almost now at 9k. If we can see this Haruki kill, it might just shoot up that much. He's forced to flash, so Bongo rather is forced to flash, so it's not exactly going to be a kill, but we see just how much pressure, how much of a stranglehold PIP has on this game, especially on this top side.
Cosmic Crabs, also no fear, at 4-0 and 2 with the Stride Breaker going into the blue buff. Doesn't, get any sort of kills or anything like that, but it at least shows that, hey, I am not worried about, anything that you're throwing our way. Hold that thought, though. Haruki and Obongo could potentially go for a play here. Oh, my God. The big boulder's doing a lot here on Talia. This is a 2.5 item Talia right now. Getting the stun will flash in. Easy kill for a Talia at this point in the game. And now Baron gonna get started with the side of Primal Instinct. Teleport is gonna come through from Harryuki. That's a nice true shot barrage, but the invulnerability on 4 members is big. Turtle finds another great ultimate. Harryuki might go down for the count. It's gonna be extremely low. Survives, and Primal Instinct Masters Purple. They're gonna be the ones that get the ace. They're gonna get the Baron. And I don't know. I think that they might just take the series.
Well, Turtle definitely showed me why he likes to play the Taric. His ults have been phenomenal, well-timed, full-on aggression, like I had presumed in the draft, but still just doing everything and more he can on this Taric. 008. But I mean, the real shout out here has to go to Cosmic. He's been at the right place at the right times, as aggressive as he needs to be, and done what he has to get this 5-0 and 4 Bel'Veth, while his team just gels towards a victory here.
Yeah, Obongo gonna go down once again. Nutty one now 4-0 and 3. Rampage on the vein, 600 gold bounty. Thanks to that 226 CS that they've been able to accumulate. 700 gold bounty on an unstoppable Bel'Veth. Cosmic Crab's doing a lot of work, and with 17 seconds remaining until the Infernal Drake spawns, I think that the Infernal Soul is all but theirs. I think that the Nexus is all but theirs, and I mean, really shouting out Primal Instinct for coming in with a composition that they have not played at all in the AML and using it effectively in games 2 and 3. I'm just very impressed with their performance and really looking forward to what they're going to be able to do here for the remainder of the AML this season.
Yeah, and I thought maybe we might have a steal, but it's not even gonna happen. We see Iconic going down, and that's just pretty much adding the stats on the Bel'Veth and the Vayne. This game is pretty much over unless there's like a massive breakdown from the side of PIP. It's just done, and Jolt's looking for maybe a trade here on the Barbie. It's gonna be Barbie pulling it out though, from what I see here.
Yeah, not really much that they can do. The Noxian Guillotine will be there. Mom's OP is in the area, but that is a 2v1 that Barbie has already won. Harryuki going to get the shield thanks to Seraph's Embrace, will be just fine against Obongo and Storm the Bleach. So still, once again, the side of Primal Instinct continuing to just get everything that they want in the 2v1s, which allows for the rest of the team to go in for the inhibitor in the mid lane. Nice stun gonna land in on the Cosmic Crab. The Glacial Fissure does not land though. The inhibitor will fall in the mid lane. They get what they want there. Everyone escapes, so the team gets what they want. And yeah, you know, I mean, shout out, like you were talking about, shout out to Cosmic Crabs. You have to give credit to where credit is due. 5-0 and 5 in the Bel'Veth, not very easy to do, and they make it happen.
That damage that came out of the Vayne just absolutely popping your Mom's OB. And like, this is just a war of attrition. You can't fight forward. You're having to be on the back foot all the time. You forced out Ezreal's TP to tower just to save, maybe save Bongo's life, and then boom, now it's going to be them trying to engage into you, but you can just kite. You have Taric ulti up, you have exhaust, you have every kit tool you need, and now boom, here comes the Talia wall, and now they're locked forward.
Locked forward. They do not land the seismic shove this time. Harryuki could potentially be in trouble. Will get shut down. It's going to be a death against the mid laner, but this is going to now be a 5v4. Cosmic Crab's going to go in. Turtle's going to pop the ultimate. Jolts will die. And Cosmic Crab's going to get a double kill. Maybe even looking for more. 91's going to go for the final hour, looking to be able to maybe get a kill on the Bleach, onto Obongo. They are now stuck inside their fountain. 91 and Turtle are low. Turtle is gonna maybe fall. Yes, they will fall, but the inhibitor is gonna go down. Nexus turret 1 will fall. Nexus turret 2 will fall. 10 seconds remaining until Iconic comes back. Barbie is there. Cosmic Crabs does not care. And Primal Instinct Masters Purple are gonna win game 3 and win the series.
Yeah, what an absolute showing from them in this game 3. They may have faltered a little bit earlier in the series, but they come back with a vengeance. Cosmic said, hey, I know 8,000 damage on a Bel'Veth last game wasn't exactly my style, wasn't what I wanted to do on this character. I'm coming back this game, and I'm showing you guys exactly why I locked this pick. and another Flame Horizon there towards the end, but 705 on the Bel'Veth. 3 items at games in at just under 27 minutes.
Nicely done. Congratulations to Primal Masters Purples for winning this series. They are now just one win away from being able to make it into the playoffs. With that being said, though, we are going to take a quick break and then come in for a post-game interview. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
Dark clouds move closer, but with a deeper sweat. Beneath them we look on. When they part comes the hatred they bring. Lost in the dark, we've come so far. Another step to rid the pain. Go and be counted till your last day. 'Cause only nightmares break their face. So stand upon these fallen lands and follow in our Father's plans. Yeah, until the end we will remain, and we'll hold on until our last breath. So what is to be left for us? My people look on and say, don't fear what you don't.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Aegis Marauders League. We are in the post game of what was a very unexpected, a very entertaining series between Primal Masters Purple and LCE Noir. We got Turtle coming in, the support player for Primal Instinct, coming in for an interview today. Turtle, congratulations on the win.
Thanks. I really want to just backtrack for a second here. What do you mean by unexpected?
Okay. Well, okay, pardon me. Yeah. I did not expect that. I did not expect game one. Let me say this. I did not expect game one to go the way that it did into game two with the champions that were picked, have it be as dominant as it was, and then be a 2-1. I have to tell you, I was not convinced. I thought you guys were trolling moving in to game two. So let me pick your brain here.
Sure.
Game one, you lose out on the Smite steal, and then the game just kind of unravels from there. Were you guys able to, you guys were able to pick up the pieces and get yourself into game two, but how does that work on the Primal Instinct side of things?
You mean like after game one, after we're tilted as heck?
Yeah.
Well, we have a couple of great coaches who like to keep our spirits high, and I think if you look at our match history, we're pretty consistently losing game ones. Not ideal, but it does happen. So yeah, if we weren't worried, it's kind of a win con for us. I also think we needed to kind of adjust drafts like drastically, and you could see we played like two very different styles of comps from game one compared to games 2 and 3. So that was a big adjustment.
Definitely. So I was going to ask about that specifically. You guys, like, threw the kitchen sink out the window after game one. You saw how they wanted to play. You kind of, like Moose said, downloaded the comp, and then you guys like thought about what would work for you, and then you played it. And I like that you guys did that. I do have to ask, for your two picks in the games 2 and 3, Braum and Eric, were these more of just like, hey, we should take the Braum away, and then I have a counterplay to Braum, or was it like our scouting says that Braum's good with this comp, like we should actually play it, and then last game I'm just gonna pull the Tarek out because that's my tried and true?
Yeah, well, we had some debates actually on both picks. Both picks weren't just like, yeah, 100%. This is the pick, and we're gonna play it. We definitely talked. There were some other picks that we had in mind. We settled on Braum. We figured it was good with Vayne. It was good with Belveth. Let's get into their team. I don't love the Karma pick into the Braum. Like, sure, Ezreal Karma's a good lane. I mean, most of the mantra Qs I was able to try to just block with my E. It's like laning phase wasn't too bad. And like we said from the start, like we have Vayne, Malphite this year. Like we're just playing the scale, and we didn't really get punished all that hard. Like I'm looking at the graph right now. We were never down in gold that game. So like they had a comp that wanted to punish you early in mid game, and they didn't do it. Because I think we just played the comp that it was the way it's supposed to be played. Uh, Tarek, Tarek is something we've been practicing, not a ton, but it is good in niche spots. I think my top laner was calling for Zyra again, and I was like, I want to play it into Braum, but I don't know. I think Tarek's just better for the comp, and we played, like I said, we played a very similar style games 2 and 3, and it just worked out for us.
Yeah, most definitely. Looking elsewhere in the draft, we did see some adaptations coming through. They played, excuse me, your mid played the Azir. They played the Talia. Was this an adaptation in itself between games 2 and 3? Like we see how aggressive the Tristana wants to play. Maybe we can play something that punishes that a little bit harder than Azir. You know, maybe get a little bit of early game help since we do have something like a Renekton going into the top lane after that draft adaptation had came through.
Yeah, so you're talking about the Azir into Talia, basically,
Yeah.
because okay, yeah, because I had the same 3 picks, and game two, my coach was screaming. Okay, I'm gonna preface this by saying my mid laner is an absolute psychopath. I don't know what is going through this guy's brain during draft, or I guess during most of his day, but my coach was calling for Talia, and like last second, he's like, bro, just give me Azir. Like, okay, we trust you. I mean, he's super cracked at both, so honestly, I don't think it really mattered one way or the other. Um, and then and then we did take Talia in the game 2, or the game 3. I mean, honestly, I think it was a toss up between both champs. I think he's cracked at both, and both worked with the comp and into their picks.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Now, Turtle, you've had some spicy opinions. We had a little bit of a talk a couple of weeks ago about the AML, and we won't get into that because we know you know that you're cracked and that you're good at the game and that your team is great. But moving into qualifier week 2, you guys are now one game away from being able to guarantee a spot in the playoffs. Is there a team within the pool of teams that you could play against that you want to go up against next week to either show what you've got, or you think you're just going to be able to guarantee a win against them regardless?
Yeah, I don't have the pool up in front of me. If it's possible, I'd like to play NSG. Uh, we have a couple of my former teammates are on that team. I think we have them pretty figured out in draft and in game, so I think that would probably be a free 2-0. Despite our game 1 troubles, I think that would be a free 2-0 for us. So I'm looking for NSG. I don't know if that's possible, but I think it would be free.
You're Novasphere Gaming.
Yes.
Correct. Okay, cool. I think it is definitely possible if they win their game against Wildfire. We'll have to. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but cool. I mean, I'd love to see that. And you guys are continuing to show that you guys are a team that can put out some spicy picks and make things happen. So, congratulations to you. Any final shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Oh God, shout outs. I want to give a big shout out to our top laner. He's just been kind of feeling the fatigue. We played all through Risen and then played Risen and Aegis at the same time for a small, and then we went right into this. And he wanted to take a little bit of a break. And like we were totally cool with that. Unfortunately, the top laner that we've been playing with for the last week and a half was ineligible, and like we didn't know that at the time. There was a whole kind of technicality in the rules that didn't allow him to play. So after not playing with us for almost 2 weeks, he stepped up big in tonight's match. So give a shout out to my top laner Barb. He popped off tonight.
Awesome. Love to hear it, and nice to see, guys, at least things getting figured out. Hopefully, if you do have to make a roster switch, it will be available for you guys for the rosters freeze later this month on the 25th. But with that being said, thank you, Turtle, for stopping by. Best of luck for the remainder of your qualifiers, and who knows, we might see you in the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks again, guys. Great stream, great cast. I'm gonna watch the VOD tomorrow. I'm off to bed because I got to get up super early for work. So thanks again,
Absolutely.
guys.
No
Take
problem.
care. All right, now with that out of the way, Panda, thank you again for being here today. Where can we find you if we want to support your gaming, your coaching, your casting? Where can we do that?
My Twitch, my Twitter, all the social media stuff is PandaBoat23, and then honestly, just supporting everything, Aegis, Risen, any sort of league that has any sort of people that want to play the game. I think that grassroots stuff like this. I coach for a junior college, so getting people engaged and getting them to some sort of organized play is the best bet, honestly.
Awesome to hear. And yeah, once again, thank you again for filling in today. Septi, I assume we'll be back next week. But with that being said, also shout out to you guys and shout out to our official sponsor for this season, Coachify. Check out some of their content. There was a live stream that was last weekend. You guys can check out. They're continuing to update content there. So shout out to our partners at Coachify for doing that. Shout out to the Aegis production staff. We've got PVS, the Sivir salesman VS right now, trying to push Severe in every single one of their games, I'm sure. As of course, also Ivar, Flay, Duan, and the rest of the Aegis production crew. With that being said, on behalf of everybody here at Aegis Esports, we'll be back again next week for the second week of qualifiers. Teams will be eliminated if they do not perform. So you must win if you ended up losing out in this qualifier matchup. So gonna be a fun series for sure. Definitely stop by for that one. And with that being said, take care, everyone. We'll see you guys next week.